Good day to all my fellow marks out there, and welcome to the wacky and wild world of professional wrestling, the only form of entertainment where the most dominant and menacing faction are dressed in fresh Hanes white t-shirts. Grab yourself a drink and a snack, kick your feet up and relax. You are now listening to the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 38 of the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast. I'm your main host, Mike GWP, and I'm going to let my guest host, and my co-host, introduce themselves.
Hello. That's it.
Is it? Come on, Andy. We are live. All right, I'll show you how it's done. What's going on, guys? It's your American hero, Brett, aka that ball bro from the greatest place in the world, the Boogie Down Bronx, New York City. Yes, I said it. Sorry, MJF. It is not Long Island. It is the best place in the world, Boogie Down Bronx. Let's go, Knicks. Fuck the 76ers. And to our guest of the day, Johnny. What's up, Johnny? How you doing?
All right. Things are going off to a real bad start. Sixers fan here. Red here. All right. This is not going off great. I am Johnny, John Boy Bebop over on TikTok, where you probably have disagreed with me in some place somehow. Yeah. What's going on, guys?
Going on, Johnny, man? You good?
I'm good.
That was a hell of an intro,
listen,
that,
Johnny.
Brett.
As soon as I knew you were coming on the show, we had to start off the right way. I had to throw in some jabs there. I mean, obviously Embiid and Paul George, and it's like, I mean, the brittle knee crew right there. I mean, it is what it is.
All right. It's crazy that you didn't even mention Max or Jared McCain, who's also out for the season this year. Fucking sucks. You know what, though? We're going to get the number one pick. It's going to be righting all the wrongs of Colangelo. And we're going to get Cooper Flag, and it's going to be fine. And we're going to win the title next year. I believe in Daryl Morey. We're going to be fine.
I like the fact you believe. It all starts with a dream. It all starts with a dream.
Yeah,
if you don't believe,
it's just like being a
point?
Toffee fan, man. It's just like years of depression, causes delusion, and then you have to try to make up things in your head.
The difference is they don't get a draft pick. They just carry on being shite.
Yeah, it is. It is like the one thing that America does. It's like a bit socialist, is to do like an NBA draft where the shitty teams actually get like good players so that everything can be relatively balanced. Yeah, the Premier League weirdly is more capitalist than the NBA.
Maybe that's
a great start.
Maybe
you're absolutely right. Like here in America, like we were all of our sports, like we reward losing, but it's weird with the NBA because you have the draft lottery. So like, let's say even if the 76ers finish with the worst record, it's not even you have the highest odds of getting the number one pick, but still the damn ping pong balls and where they come out, you could pick like fifth or sixth, and then like you're just in so much trouble.
Yeah, those ping pong balls seemingly like us, so I'll take my odds with a ping pong ball.
Yeah. Maybe the Fed are going to introduce a draft lottery system, and Raw and SmackDown just take whatever talent they want from the UK. Oh, they're already doing it, aren't they? Actually, yeah. Sorry. Money laundering the talent through TNA seems to be the new thing now. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, my days of seeing Leon Slater on the Indies are going to be coming to an end, I'd imagine. He's fucking
might be like that for men like Darius as well.
Yeah, looks the case.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's great for these guys because they put the body through so much, and they don't get paid much on the Indies, or at least not what they deserve, and they have to work their ass off, trying to shill whatever merch they can and all that. So like, you don't begrudge any of these guys taking the paycheck as soon as they get off it. It's just a shame that from my point of view, I'm not going to get to see them on a lot of local shows as I can do now. So whatever.
There's got to be a special feeling with a couple of them though, like Leon Slater, like men like Darius. I really like Luke Jacobs as well. Like those
Yeah.
There's just certain guys that aren't long for the indies, that they're going to be big names no matter what.
Do you know what? There's a lot of them, but there's also a lot of good talent coming through to take over from these guys. So it's not really, it's in a really healthy state at the moment. I just hope it stays that way and we don't go back to 6 years or so ago, because there's a lot. I mean, like Robbie X. Robbie X should have been picked up by somebody by now. He's fucking unreal.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's in New Japan, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, but sorry, mate, go on.
I was going to say, how WWE haven't picked up. Well, actually, no, it's because he's 5 foot That's
Well,
why. If he'd have been
probably,
slightly
yeah.
taller, he'd probably be in the Fed by now.
I'd say Leon Slater is destined for massive things. He's fucking unreal. Do you know what? I've seen him at the content show, at the Atomic one on the 2nd of April, and I'm seeing him now at Rev Pro as well in the high stakes uh, event. So
That Rev Pro
yeah,
match.
I'll make the most of it before he does get snapped up.
If you don't
He's
know,
facing
Johnny,
he's facing Oku on that card, right? On the
Yeah,
Red Pro
oh
card.
yeah, he is, man.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Jeez. So listen, like if Leon Slater's time is coming up, on the Independence, like fairly soon, like damn, what a way to go out, like facing Oku, and then don't forget on that card as well, you got Mercedes on that card as
Fucking hell,
well.
I know.
Like
It's
Jesus.
insane.
Yeah, man.
I bought my tickets based on the Mercedes match alone. Well, based on Mercedes, we didn't even know what the match was, but now we know it's Kanji. It's going to be incredible. But now adding Michael Oku, Leon Slater, fuck me, that's incredible. That is
and the women's
special.
gauntlet.
Sorry?
And the women's gauntlet as well.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's going to be to determine the next challenger for Mercedes belt, in which case everyone will seem to think it's going to be Alex Windsor. But who knows?
It makes the most sense.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Have you guys watched that Eve match yet between her and Jamie Hayter? Windsor?
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
My God.
Jamie Hayter, I think, is one of the best women's wrestlers on the planet. I can't wait for it to overcome her arch nemesis visa issues and actually be able to get stuck into a proper feud.
I was tweeting like during the match. I just randomly watched it probably like 5 or 6 days ago, and I tweeted like 17 tweets just being like, why is Jamie Hayter not champion? Why is she just not the world champion? Like, she's just so perfect. She's such a good wrestler. Like, it's insane.
She's so stiff as well. I fucking love that with women's wrestling when they actually, like, it sounds horrible to say, but when they actually full on connect.
Yeah.
Because there's too many like that kind of pull the punches at the end, and kind of slow down the movements. That match with her and Toni Storm when she won the title, fucking hell, they were going for it. That's an all timer.
Yeah, I was there for that match. That was special.
I said when Mercedes, when the whole stuff went about leaving WWE and that, when it started to kick off, I remember said at the time, the dream match for me already, Mercedes Hayter, just give me it. We haven't got it yet, but hopefully we get it at some point.
Listen, Mercedes is gonna sell that damn clothesline like death when that match happens. Like it's gonna be some epic stuff. And I was actually at that hitter Storm match at Full Gear. Was it 2022?
No, that's right.
Yeah, in New Jersey, right? Yep. I
had a guy fall asleep on me, but that's a different story.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! But yeah, like I said, hopefully she gets those that visa issue taken care of, because it's kind of crazy. You look at the women's division, AEW, it kind of has like in a way its own subset division within a division, like of your kind of like your bigger like Haas like division in a sense. Like you have Megan Bain, you got Chris Statlander, you got Willow, you got Jamie Hayter. Like I remember the Casino Gauntlet match they had back in January. I mean, yeah, the match should have gone on way longer, but just the interaction that those 4 or 5 women had, like, fuck me if I don't want a damn fatal 4-way for the women's title. Just 10-12 minutes of them, they're just going to be knocking and beating the crap out of each other, but it'll be glorious violence in its best form.
I think one of my favorite things so far has been the way that AEW has elevated the women recently.
It's just we've just been stuck on this one match an event, haven't we? Unfortunately, and it's hard to, I've said this every single week, so I won't go on about it too much. But it's hard to build any real contenders for the next the next title match, title feud, or the next stage in someone who's chasing a title, because there's just not enough time that they give them to showcase them and to build them up even further. That's why when we had, for instance, Anna Jay having 3 title matches out of nowhere with Mariah May, it just felt a little bit off, because there was no reason for her to get their matches at all. It hadn't been built up, and it's just because there's not enough. They don't give them enough time. It's hopefully that's changing, because this last Wednesday, that was a fucking incredible show, and 2 women's matches for the first time at Dynamite in a very long time.
2 banger women matches as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, they were incredible. Especially for TV matches, high caliber stuff.
If the plan for Dynasty is like well, yeah, I think it is like Bane and Storm for the title. Johnny, what's your thought of this? Like, I think Bane should squash Tony Storm. I say
So
5 6 minute storm squash match, and you know what the match I would model it after? Cena Lesnar SummerSlam
that's what I
2014.
thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually said on the pod, I said I think Tony's winning. I think that in some way that Tony wins this match. Just gets by, and then they probably do Bane wins at the next pay-per-view, which was what, probably Double or Nothing.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
was like, if they don't, they may do Brock Cena. Which I could totally see. I was so happy to see Bane face Stat on a side note, because I haven't watched a ton of Bane stuff. I very, very rarely just watch GCW. So I haven't been super tapped into Megan Bane, but I started to watch her versus Julia in Stardom. And it was the first time I got it. And so it was just over this last couple weeks. I really got why people are big on Megan Bane, because obviously she hasn't talked on the show, or she hasn't showcased all of her character yet. So I was just kind of like, man, I don't know if they put the title on her, and I really think that she does well with stiffer wrestlers. Somebody like a
Yeah.
Jamie Hayter versus Megan Bane would be fire. So we finally got to see Stat, who I believe is a real complete package and just has like everything. So I think it makes a lot of sense, but I'll go out on a limb and say that I'm going to say Megan Bane doesn't win, because I want my theory to be correct. I want my random perfect booking idea to actually come to fruition, and it would be for Mariah May to come back to save Tony, turn babyface.
Here's my no, just real quick, Andy.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
Yeah, so here's my counter. Let's say if Tony like does win in that situation, I don't want it to be a one-on-one match. Like, make it like a multi-one match, like a fatal four or whatever, where you get Stat and Willow involved. Where I don't want Megan Bane to eat a pin already. Like, if she doesn't leave Dynasty with the title, I'd rather it be like someone else take the pin. But I don't want to see her eating or taking a pin like anytime soon, like from months on. And like I'm cool for winning at the next pay-per-view at Double or Nothing if it's just a straight up one-on-one match between them. But if Tony does eke out a win in Dynasty, I don't want it to be a one-on-one with Bane taking a pin. Not yet, at least.
Mm-hmm. I've said what I want, mate. I've preached this for a while. She needs to basically be Vader from 92, 93. Mm-hmm. And she needs to destroy everybody. If she loses this first match, I actually suspect that Mariah May will come back, and I think you're spot on there, but I think that might be further down the line. I think if she loses this next match, it's got to be a DQ. It can't be anything but a DQ, because a pin, no, we're not doing that again. It's got to be a 6 month run, at least 6 months to a year of absolute destroying everybody. And then whoever has that Ric Flair moment from 93, Starrcade, I think it was, to actually eventually take down the monster, they're going to be made, man. You can choose anyone from that. You could have, if she's in the right position, and she's, I'm Team MasterCard at the moment because I hate Visa. If she's beating Visa issues, you could have Jamie Hayter. Fucking get her in there. She could be the one to take it down. You could have Tony coming back around to be the one to take it down. You could have Mariah May maybe redeeming herself to be the one. You could have Willow, who really should be, the face of the division, really, in a way. You could have Mercedes at some point in the future. If I don't know whether she'd work as a face still, but they're going to want to get the title on it, and that would probably be a good way to do it. The options are, there's so many for who, because this unstoppable machine, that Vader was, and I keep harping back to Vader just because that's what it was. Nobody had a chance in hell. It gives the opponent so much. So whoever does eventually topple it, or even gets close to topple it, they're going to get so much from it. And it will carry on Bane being this monster. And then when she does lose, she can then just carry on, still be beating people, but just maybe just out of that title scene just for a little bit, and then come back in and you can do a similar thing again. I just don't want them to do what they did with Camille, which is essentially have her eat a pin within a month or two, and it's like any illusion of the power of it is just gone out the window because she ate a pin on Dynamite. They can't do that with Bane now. Even at a pay-per-view, you can't just she can't eat a pin so soon. It'll kill it for me. Anyway,
Yeah, they
sorry
made
about
that
that
mistake
because
with Camille.
I've said this every week, so I apologize for rambling on about that. But I just want that Vader run because it's perfect.
Yeah,
No,
no,
yeah,
spot on.
yeah. So we're already like kind of tapping into Dynamite a little bit, talking about Stat and Bane. But listen, it was a great show in my opinion. I thought, all things considering, I mean, you had a damn snowstorm, a blizzard in the area. I mean, all things considering, it was a 10 out of 10 show in my opinion. Like from start to finish, you started out with the fatal four way for the number one contender for Omega's international title, and you get both Ricochet and Bailey pinning Mark Davis simultaneously. So now it's a three-way at Dynasty with Bailey, Ricochet, and Omega for the international title, and it's like it's just fucking insane. Like you're gonna have those three demons within the ropes like at the same time. I mean, it feels like it's like I know it's only gonna be April, but it's the rest of the 8 months. Like good luck to whoever's gonna top that for match of the year candidate. But let's just talk about that three-way at Dynasty real quick. Like what are your expectations for that match?
I was just really impressed with the finish. To be honest, I didn't see that coming at all. Uh, it was a great way to set the match up. Like you say, it's going to be incredible, isn't it? Kenny's winning, obviously. Maybe it sets up a Ricochet Speedball feud. Who knows?
It's going to be
Yeah, I could.
unbelievable, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I could see that, but before we talk about the match, like, dude, shout out to Mark Davis. I mean, listen, I'll admit,
Yes,
I,
yes.
I'm sure, like a lot of people, I wasn't sure about like, as far as like maybe a singles run for him, like in the current landscape of AEW, how it would look, but fuck me, even though he didn't win the match, he came off as the MVP
Yeah.
of the match. I mean, and is this a bold take? Like, does anyone have a better pile driver than Mark Davis right now?
That's a good shout.
In his, I don't like. I mean, holy crap! Like that one sequence where he picks up Cassidy flat on his back, throws him up in the air, and then pile drives him straight down. That was insane, man. But yeah, the dude's a consummate pro. Like like I said, I was a little iffy about his singles run, and when he did debut, being a part of the Callis family, I know maybe a lot of people were a little underwhelmed, but now it's like, yeah, he fits and he's doing his thing, and no matter how long it goes for, I'm glad he's getting this shine and attention right now.
It wasn't just you, mate. I think we all said the same thing. We were a bit worried for where he was going to fit into the card, especially with Kyle Fletcher's ascendance to a top level guy. Was there anything there for Mark Davis? But fuck me, he was the glue in that match. He kept everything going. He was the key to the match. He was brilliant. I actually think there's a lot they can do with him now.
Yeah, they love their meat guys. I would really love to see a long feud with Mark Davis and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh God, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
But I do think
good.
Kenny, Ricochet, Mike Bailey, that is going to be special. I'm very interested to see because I can't see Bailey taking a pin this quick, but I would be very interested to see if they give Ricochet back to back getting pinned on pay-per-views.
Yeah, that was my only worry with Ricochet coming out of this Swerve match. What do you do with him next? But it's a tough one because you're right. Yeah, God, it's a tough one. I don't know how I'd do it.
I mean, to be fair, if you have to take two losses back-to-back pay-per-views, it's not bad to have it be Swerve Strickland and Kenny Omega. It's
no, it could be worse, couldn't it?
you could have a worse career going on.
And also, I feel like the spot that Ricochet's in right now, like I don't think him eating a pin, like it doesn't hurt him. I don't feel like it hurts him like in a normal sense where like if he was just starting in AEW, like him taking back-to-back pins, that would be bad. Like, dude, he is just killing it as far as like character work and on the mic. And even that post AEW promo that he cut like in the back, like where he kind of did the Shannon Sharp, like, Lakers in 5 thing for both Bailey and Omega. Like that Ricochet is the ultimate example of why you need another top tier wrestling promotion, why you need an AEW, like where you saw like instances in WWE, like, maybe as far as him talking or as a character, it was obvious to a lot of fans where maybe it just wasn't something within his comfort zone or that he just didn't believe in. But he comes over here. He's been here since August last year. Like maybe it was a sense where they sat him down. All right, what are you comfortable with? What makes you special? What can we give you, and you could take the ball and run with it? And whatever it was, like he just seems like more natural, and it just sticks to him. Like, first, like, I think we are seeing the real Ricochet as far as like a person, as far as a character. Yeah, is he a bit of a goof and clown? So what? Some of the best heels in wrestling history are goofs and clowns. And like the heat magnet that he has become in the past couple months, I didn't see this coming. I mean, it's Johnny, you tell me, am I wrong? Is it like it's like Dominic Mysterio levels of heat?
No, it for sure is. When I was talking about the best heels in wrestling, I think that the two people had mentioned it was right at the New Day turn. And I was like, which one's going to be like more remembered right now? And most people said New Day. It was between New Day and Ricochet. And unfortunately, in the New Day aspect is, they've kind of just let that kind of just go to the wayside. But Ricochet has been propelled to now far better than anything that he was in WWE because of this character.
Yeah, absolutely true. And I feel like what hurt the New Day also is that like if Big E is never going to be like clear to wrestle, like if that's is what it is, like he's never going to be clear to wrestle again, then there's no way, in my opinion, like for the New Day to get their comeuppance or to get like revenge on them in a sense. Like, so it feels like since the whole turn against Big E, they've just done nothing but lose and get embarrassed and lose. And like you said, there's no forward trajectory like now or anywhere in the future. So there's that. But yeah, like I said, who would have thought that Ricochet would be like the top 2 or 3 heels in the entire wrestling business right now? I didn't see that coming.
Honestly, maybe the next step, because obviously Kenny's winning this match, maybe the next step for Ricochet is the Owen.
Yeah, and speaking of the Owen, like, dude, it's already crazy. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Owen is gonna take place in June, like leading up to All In Texas. Like, you already have like a handful of guys declaring for the Owen. You already have Hangman, Will Ospreay, I think are the only 2 so far who have verbally committed. But yeah, like if Ricochet and then we'll have like a half dozen other guys commit. Like, I love the fact that they're already putting this emphasis and focus on the Owen when it's not even like 2-3 months down the line. So that's a net positive in my opinion.
Do you think they might expand the Owen?
It
because
depends.
We've got a lot of time left, and they really could double the size of the the entrant pool. Really,
what has it always been? What's
number? Well, yeah, 8's always been the number, and it was last year. It was the first time that it was for the number 1 contender for the title. So yeah, but 8's always been the number. But yeah, if they were to, they have plenty of time to expand it. I mean, you could do
you could do 16.
You could do
easily do 16. Yeah,
yeah, you could do 16. I'm a slut for a tournament, and I want it to be as long as possible. So.
Well, and you could get some of the guys who maybe aren't on that level. You could just get them some good matches in the early rounds as well.
Yeah.
There's some great opportunities if you go 16.
Especially for somebody like Ricochet that probably won't win it, but he can get a couple wins and set up a feud, with whoever.
I think it's nailed on. Hangman's winning. It's got to be. So yeah, you're right. Like for Ricochet to maybe go on a run and set up a feud from there with somebody maybe that he whether it's someone he loses to or whether it's someone that causes him to lose or something along the way. You could spin off quite a few story threads out.
Sorry.
Go on, man. I'd finished.
Did Jay White declare yet? I could have swore he declared in that backstage promo with Renee.
I think he may have. Yeah, I think he did mention. So just add him. Like, got Jay White, Will Ospreay, and Hangman at a page. But like I said, we're over 3 months away from All In. So it's like
and Jeff Jarrett. Don't forget he's winning the title. Remember when the world lost the shit because he said he dreamt of winning the title, so everyone thought it was nailed on, and Tony had to pay for his crimes.
Jesus,
get him in the Owen just to see people cry. It'd be fucking great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, why not? But
so who do you think then? If it's 8, who do you think? So we go Hangman, Jay White.
Ospreay, Ricochet,
yeah.
MJF.
Marcus, go.
I don't think MJF does it. I think MJF will. His character would be more, I'm going to just sit back and let you fuckers do what you need to do and I'll find another way. I don't think he'll enter the tournament.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's in the
I,
strike.
I, I want Garcia in it. I don't think
Yeah.
Eddie will be back in time, but if Eddie's back in time, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, you could throw Garcia in there, and I think by that time, I think he'll have dropped the TNT title.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a lot better, but yeah, he needs to drop the title soon. I mean,
he has to. If he is going to be in it, he has to drop the title because one of the things that's really impacted his title run, and it has been pretty poor to be honest, is the fact that he was in the Continental Classic at the time. So that took away a lot of possible defenses because it was just Continental Classic matches. So if he's in another tournament, you don't really want that kind of replacing the fact that he should be defending the title.
No idea why we've thought that, Garcia being in a feud with Adam Cole where Adam Cole can't take a fucking pin has been mind-boggling for the last 2 months.
I'd imagine Cole's going to win at the pay-per-view. It's going to be, I mean, that's got to be the reason. Surely.
Johnny's going to crash out at that point.
well, you know what, Johnny, here's something to look forward to. Like, we talked about this last week. Like, let's say if Cole does go on to beat Garcia for the title, I think it should lead to the eventual, like, long-term plan. Like, this guy, he's on the rise, the young ascending superstar, perfect guy to take the belt from Cole. I'd say no, do it as soon as Double or Nothing. I think it's Kyle Fletcher's time, man. Put some
That's fair.
Belt him up, and you set him up for a mega heel run with that TNT title. And dude, you got a built-in story for a long-term feud with I think they've given you little hints about Takeshita maybe like being a little frustrated with the Don Callis family, like, and dude, like, what a better feud that you could build for a few months with like him and Takeshita.
Yeah, I think that would also make sense going in as Fletcher and Don Callis family could go after Undisputed Kingdom. Fletcher takes out Cole, and then you have a descent between Fletcher and Takeshita. You know what would honestly be interesting, just thinking about this now, is if Takeshita just lost the international championship, he wants to get gold back, and him and Fletcher have to fight each other to get that spot against Cole.
Ooh,
I think it's too low. Lower down the card that title for Takeshita. I think Takeshita's got to be going for the IWGP myself. I think that's his next step because they made a point out of saying that he's contracted to New Japan as well, and just fucking use him. Get that title on him because he's better. I'm probably gonna get people complain about this, but Takeshita clears anyone on that New Japan roster.
I don't think that's crazy. No,
he's fucking phenomenal.
I mean, I love New Japan, but yeah.
Whether they wait till a G1, they might wait till a G1. I don't know, but he has to get that. That's got to be the next logical step, hasn't it? Because he's not going to be in the AEW World Title picture at the moment, and that's his level. Being realistic, international title minimum. Ideally, the world title. He's not going to be in that conversation at the moment. I'd say he's probably not going to be until. I still think the end game is Ospreay winning in Wembley 2026. So. Do whatever you can with him with anywhere else, whether that's winning the IWGP title or the G1 or whatever. That's just what I would do anyway. I do have some stupid ideas, but also some good ones. So,
do you guys believe that there's any chance that Darby's in this, Owen?
I hope not. I don't think so. Like, I'm seeing all over social media, like, people are like, "Oh, it's Darby's nailed on. It's gonna be Darby winning it all in." I've not seen one shred of anything. Like, if I'm not thinking of a random Dave Meltzer report that everyone seems to hang on to from about 4 months ago, I have not seen one shred of anything in the storytelling in the shows that suggests Darby is anywhere near in this story. He's gone. That's it. He's done. He'll come back and be, at best, maybe back someone up. I think parachuting him back in to win a world title is just fucking stupid. For me, and again, maybe this is just a me thing, but the way I've been watching it as the story's unfolded, everything points to Hangman. Everything over the last 6 months has pointed towards Hangman's kind of, the struggle he's had with his to control his demons and his anger and overcome that. And like you pointed out, Brett, the fucking logo for All In is his belt buckle, for fuck's sake.
Well, not even just that. Like, you look at the focus of so many like wrestlers or backstage personnel on screen, from yeah, from Chris Daniels, from Jeff Jarrett to MJF to that feud with Swerve, all of it has had one main focus, one main goal, and that is to bring back up Hangman Page as that eventual hero for AEW. And like you go back to that promo with him and Christopher Daniels where Daniels told Hangman that, you know, doctor said like, I can't wrestle no more, like I'm done. And you saw the look and Hangman's face, and you saw him mouth the words like what the hell did you say? Like you saw like kind of like something flicker, a switch right then in there. Like he kind of started having a little regret for his past actions and transgressions. And you know, people bitching and moaning and crying about an old guy like Daniels on screen. I'm like, listen, he's playing one role, and that he is to light the fuse for Hangman to get his shit together, to turn around, get more focused. And that's what we're seeing right now. It's the long game with Hangman, because guess what? From day one of AEW all the way till now, Hangman has been the main character. He has been the guy. He was destined to take the ball in AEW and run with it. He failed against Jericho. It took a 2+ year storyline with the Elite and Kenny Omega to get him that title. We all know what happened with the old CM Punk stuff. We don't need to revisit that. It is what it is. And now, yeah, you know what? We all got the Men in Black neuralizer stuff, so we all forget.
I got that thing that Tony gave to Statlander when she suddenly decided she was a face after building up a great heel run. Yeah, that's what I've got. Yeah.
R.I.P. Stokely, by the way.
Yeah, whatever yeah, man, come back soon, man. Maybe he comes back as Megan Bain's mouthpiece. Who knows?
I would love that.
That's actually a decent idea, man.
A comedy version of Harley Race when he was managing Vader. Give me that.
Yeah, I don't know, Johnny. Did you see the meme? Someone posted a picture of Harley Race and Vader, and they were like, "That's gonna be Penelope Ford and Megan Bain."
I didn't see that, but that's fair. Yeah.
I posted it and said it was going to be Joey Janela and Megan Bain.
Oh, Joey Janela and Megan Bain.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, Joey Janela liked it. He thought it was fucking great. But I'd actually bring him back into AEW as a manager as well, to be honest. I like Joey Janela. I thought he was great in AEW. He gets a lot of stick.
Yeah.
He's just a fucking bit of a troll, isn't he? And he hates JD as well, so whatever. Anyway,
that's always a plus.
Yeah, it always a plus in my book. But all right. So
while you're on the Hangman thing, though, I don't want Swerve to win. Before we move on, I don't want Swerve to win, mainly because I hate face. I think it's shit. I need an emotional investment in the match, so I need someone to be playing the bad guy. And
it's going to be Swerve.
He can't unless he.
I don't think it is.
Unless he beats the shit out of Nana, he can't, because we've seen this before when he broke into Hangman's house and Nana did a little dance and everyone went, "Yay!" They didn't give a fuck. So now I think I explained this to you guys. Now I've revisited the archives, gone back to 1992 or 3, whatever. Yeah, 92, and I think it can work. MJF can be Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect in one. From the fantastic angle when we had Macho versus Warrior, both faces, and Flair and Perfect kept telling everyone they've made a deal with one of them and they wouldn't reveal who it was. And you could have MJF doing that with Swerve and Hangman. I've made a deal, just playing them off against each other. And then anyway, it transpired in the original story that Flair hadn't made a deal with anyone. He was just, trying to pit them against each other. The great promo at the end was, I made a deal with Mr. Perfect, and Mr. Perfect made a deal with me. He could essentially, MJF, say, I made a deal with myself, made a deal with the devil, whatever. And that is the way I would like to see it. If it is face versus face, have that sort of tension going into it. You don't know whose side are they on. Has one of them made a deal with MJF? And then you could have it, obviously that leads then into MJF having a good feud against whoever the eventual winner or loser is coming out of that. I think that would work, because outside
it's a beautiful setup.
I fucking hate face versus face, but I do think that could do it, because it could give us the it's kind of what happened if you think about it in All In when it was MJF Cole, in that we thought one of them would turn, and they didn't. But this would have that extra, that extra side where there's someone pushing the fact that there is possibly going to be someone who's turned in, and you could have Swerve and Hangman both. They're great fucking actors. They're great at what they do, and they could lean into this kind of giving us a feeling of maybe they have just decided to take that extra step to ensure they're going to win the title and made a deal with MJF. It would. Oh, there's so much you could do with that. Anyway, that's my fancy booking. That's the one. That and Vader. I want two things to happen. Probably more actually. Hater as well to come back. I want everything, but just those ones mainly.
All right, man.
I believe Tony Khan's probably archive merchant like yourself, so he may be having the same exact thought. So I personally go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because otherwise, what do you do with MJF at the moment? Because he should be at the top of the card. He's just put Hangman over, and like the guy's too good to not be. It's a problem they have for having such a top heavy card. Really, sorry, Johnny. Go ahead.
No. I wonder what you do with Darby after this, because I do think that they set up to do Darby Mox with the whole in the very, very beginning. I think that it was to elevate somebody like Darby and that closing shot. They have Darby, Garcia, all Private Party, Hook, which Hook hasn't weirdly been a part of this story whatsoever.
Thank God.
Then I think if they don't go Darby for being the guy, which I'm still believing that they're going to do, I think that then you have to have Darby go after Ospreay, because Darby has this conversation with Ospreay at the very end of the C2 where he was like, a lot of bad shit is happening, whatever. And he was like, we need to like try to save this. And Darby or Ospreay is basically like, yeah, sorry, bro. I'm trying to win this C2. And like, we'll worry about that afterwards. And then Darby gets kicked down the stairs, which should be just a normal bump for Darby, but apparently it's taken him out for months. And I feel like Darby should feel as though Ospreay wasn't listening to him, and Ospreay needs to carry that weight. And Ospreay had told Kenny something in a promo where he was saying, he was like, a lot of people have been injured. A lot of people have been taken out from Moxley, that I wonder if Ospreay still has that in the back of his mind, that he has that guilt against Darby.
That's a good shout. I could actually see Darby coming back and leading Team AEW against the Death Riders in a stadium stampede, which is something Mark's been pushing for. Yeah, but that's a good shout. Darby and Ospreay's that's a run you could really go with, yeah. And you could go either. I've said for a while, I don't think it'll happen. I think he's the one that will never turn heel. Mm-hmm. But I would love to see a Darby heel turn, just because of one line he said at one time when oh God, which one was it now? It might have been it was on Mox actually, when Mox attacked Danielson, and Darby said, I would never do that to Sting. And I was like, oh God, please do that. Please have Sting come down to make the save and have Darby lay him out, because I like shocks. I like things you wouldn't expect to happen. Yeah. God, that would be great.
I also feel like the fan base is kind of turning on Darby a little bit. Not necessarily all their fault either, but they're like, God damn, dude, this story's been going on, and if it's about you, you're not here. I would find it really, really interesting if the fans start to kind of hate Darby and he left them when they needed him most.
It would be great if he just came back and was like, so fucking what? I wanted to climb Everest. Fuck you. Fuck AEW. And then he laid out Sting. Whatever ends up with Sting getting laid out, basically, that's what we need. What I need.
I mean, that's Sting's career, essentially. I mean, every one of his close friends always turns on him.
Exactly.
I mean, so you're being consistent with Sting. Yeah,
he's a fucking idiot. Essentially, he always how many times did Flair turn on him, and he gave him a chance over and over again, only to get stabbed in the back every single time. It's Sting all over, yeah.
All right, man. Listen, let's stop dancing around it right now. We got to talk about that street fight for the title. We're not going to talk about the match. We're not going to talk about the match. We're going to talk about the spot.
Can we before we do? Can we just talk about how good the two women's matches were? We'll finish on that for a reason.
Well, I was going to finish with the women's matches, but yeah.
We'll finish on the Mox one for a bit, because it's a great segue, isn't it, into what we're going to talk about. So the women's matches, they were phenomenal. Two excellent matches. I thought Billy Starks was excellent. Mercedes is Mercedes. She's one of the best in the world. And Mark was saying he thought Billy looked nervous at the start. I don't think she was. I think she played on that because she's a very good actress, really. Because I'm shocked that she wasn't injured in that spot in the Ring of Honor pay-per-view when she played the neck injury angle, because I thought she was done.
I was there for that match, and holy shit, it was. The entire crowd was silent, and I'm be honest. I think it was the first time where like I was pretty close to like tears. I was like, because I didn't realize. I've been watching Billy for a long time. I've watched her in the Indies. I didn't realize her dad actually just posted a photo of her watching this match of Bayley and Becky Lynch, and I believe it's Alexa Bliss's debut, and it's in a convention center in my city, Columbus, Ohio, and Billy's like 10, and I'm in the photo across from her, and like
What?
yeah,
That's class,
like
man.
I never know that somebody that I was sitting next across, from was going to end up being, facing Mercedes. But I've always loved Billy. And my Discord there's a couple guys that are like super Billy Starks fans. I've been Billy Starks fans for years. So I've always been tapped in on her. It was I totally forgot where I was going with this. But oh no, the spot. It felt like, I don't know how long it was when you guys have like watched it. It felt like it was half an hour where she was down on the ground.
It did on TV as well. It was like, holy fuck, this is really worrying. And like, it's only the only thing was like, why have they not cut away from this? Because it looked bad. Like, and I was like, she's fucked.
That was so we had done it was probably like 5 minutes, and we were like, all right, like it's weird that they're not cutting away. And then I want to say off screen the ref may have thrown up the X, but we were just sitting there and we were like, all right, so it's maybe it's a storyline. No, it's definitely not a storyline. Maybe it's a storyline. No, it's definitely not a storyline. And we talked ourselves out of it 5 different times because Billy also makes a scream that in the arena was deafening, that we thought that she had broken her neck.
Yeah, no. Well, like I say, that's the only reason in this match that she had on Wednesday. I was like, when Mark was saying, "Oh, I think she's nervous," I was like, "No, she's playing that because she is a very good actress." She was not them. She was well into that, and as the match progressed, fuck, that was a very good match.
And hold on, before we continue, let's just remember that match last year with Aminata at for Ring of Honor. She's 19 years old at that point. 19 years old, and I had a few friends who were there as well. I'm watching at home, and I'm like, same thing as you, John. Like, I'm thinking like I'm talking myself in and out, like, is this real? Is this not? Is it like? But the longer it's going, like, it shouldn't be lasting this long, But that's a 19-year-old girl, like, who made an arena full of grown men fool everyone. She fooled everyone, and like, dude, that's years like. That there's wrestlers right now who have been wrestling like for a couple of decades who cannot fool an entire crowd the way that she did. But holy crap! I mean, and then you have this match with Mercedes on Wednesday. Like, but speaking of bumps, holy crap! There were a couple where that were just some wincing, like to turn away a couple of times. That electric chair spot where she dropped Mercedes like right on the back of her neck and head.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Oof.
I had to watch that again. It was like, how is she not fucking caught her there? That is so close.
Yeah, it is millimeters off. It is insane. It just proves how fucking good both of these are.
There's not a better seller like in the world, I think, for the ladies, I think, than the Mercedes, in my opinion. Like she takes like bumps like she has to pay rent every day, every time that she's in the ring. Like she's amazing. And then just literally a minute later, Starks is up on the middle rope and it misses with that senton on the apron. Like,
yes,
that looked like death as well. But I mean, listen, a great showing for Billy. Listen, 20 years old, like the sky's the limit for her. And, but you got a couple knuckleheads online. Like, oh, she lost to Mercedes. Up, she's buried. Like, people don't understand.
Rex made that.
I've made videos about this in the past. Like, burial might be the most overused and word term in professional wrestling amongst fans. Like, we don't know. People seem to forget, like, if you've been watching wrestling as long as I have, like almost 30 years, like, you could get over in a loss. We have seen it time and time and again in the world of professional wrestling. I mean, goddamn, do we forget Jeff Hardy versus The Undertaker, the ladder match for the world?
My favorite match of all time, or second favorite match of all time, is Jeff losing and getting over in the process.
Exactly.
There's a dude at the moment who's getting more over than he ever has been by losing every week. Within half a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I think Caster's getting better reactions week after week, and like you said, and when we eventually get Bowens to answer the challenge, like, damn, it's gonna be an amazing, cool moment. But
especially when Caster wins.
Oh shit.
Imagine Bowens comes out and Caster actually decides to turn it on and beats him. The crowd are gonna. You think Ricochet's getting nuclear heat? Fucking hell.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, this caster story has really really worked.
But what if? Sorry, going completely out all over the shop here. But what if Stokely is with Caster? That would be a good
Oh
pair.
God, that can make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I don't know. The acclaimed, how do you say, aesthetic was always kind of weird for me. Like I always thought like, yeah, Max Caster, who's the rapper, but I feel like Bowens is always the better talker, the better promo.
Yeah.
Like when it came to talking on the mic, but
Caster
yeah,
always has an awkwardness to him, doesn't he? But I think I don't know if that's like by design, but he's always had an awkwardness to the way he delivers his lines.
I've met Caster twice. He was a dick both times to me.
I met him in Vegas a couple years ago for a Double or Nothing weekend. I went to one of his rap concert that he did that weekend. I got a great photo of him. Like I'm knees bent down in front of him, and he's giving me like this double scissors from behind. Like cool shot. He was a cool guy at that point. But yeah, like I said, whenever we get Bowens answering that challenge, it's gonna be some good shit. And Andy, like you say, like, oh god, if Caster wins, that arena is gonna be like on full meltdown level.
It's going to be. I'm surprised you haven't had Megan Bain come out to answer his challenge. To be honest, anyway, yeah,
what everyone wants.
The women's matches we've gone off again. Megan Bain and
Statlander.
Mine went blank for a second. I was just thinking Tony Storm on commentary stole the show, really. But yeah, it was a hell of a match, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, listen, Statlander, I feel like is the ace of the women's division in the sense that whoever you put her in the ring with, like she's gonna get the best out of you regardless. Like whether they're at the top or the bottom of the card. I mean, like since day one, when you look back at it, like I don't think I've ever been disappointed with her in the ring like ever. I mean, how many women on that roster has she given their best matches ever? Like, I mean, and then when we got those two matches with her and Mercedes at the end of the year last year, like I always loved like the Sasha and Charlotte matches back in the day, but damn, I think the Mercedes Statlander matches surpassed those in my opinion. I mean, she can wrestle whoever, like big girls, small girls, strong, athletic, like you're not going to be disappointed. I mean, like that rivalry she had last year with Willow, especially that, we're going to talk about Spot in a little bit. That spot that she took at All Out against Willow, that split into
my god,
that was great. That man, fucking hell!
Like her expression was was holy shit. And you got to remember they followed what match did they follow? I think they followed the Will Ospreay and Pac match. Yeah. Like, and I think a lot of people are like, oh fuck, whoever has to follow that match. But thank God it was a street fight for them, and they went 100 miles per hour, and they passed that test like balls to the wall from start to finish. But yeah, man, listen, like you said, Bane and Statlander, they knocked it out of the park. And like you said, Tony Storm on commentary, like shit, amazing stuff.
Well, did you watch? Do you watch it on Max, or do you watch it on like TBS, TNT, whatever? Because I watch it on Triller, and we don't get the ad breaks. And some of the best shit that she said, the best lines were in the ad breaks because she clearly gets the right. We're going into picture ad break, whatever. And she was ripping Tony Schiavone, fucking hell. There was one line when she was talking about the Hollywood ending, and she's like, "Oh yeah, heard Tony Schiavone had a Hollywood ending, but he had to pay for it."
We got that on Max.
It must have been the JFK one then, was it? Tony, yeah, seeing you were mentioning the JFK files, and he was like, "What? What?" He goes, "I was 6 years old." She was just fucking whatever she could. She was fucking ripping it. It was great, like non-stop. It was. It's always good when you get someone on commentary like that, isn't it? And just adds a little bit of difference to it, a little bit of an edge. And obviously it played out into the end of the match as well. The whole point that she's being there. It's it's good.
My God, you're a big bitch. Like,
but back to what we said at the start. Though I just don't. I think it's too soon myself. But whatever, we'll see what happens in about 3 weeks. Yeah, it's too soon for me.
I do think it's kind of perfect to put Megan Bain with somebody like Toni Storm, because the only thing that we haven't really seen yet from Megan is her character work, and it's really hard to not have an entertaining segment with Toni. But I don't know. You guys all seem to think that Megan's is beating Toni, or at least if she's losing, it's by DQ.
Yeah, I don't think she's taking a pin. She can't do. Like she can't, can she?
Yeah, way too soon.
No.
Like,
Can she?
no, not yet, not yet.
No, it's like that Star Wars meme, isn't it? You know, with Anakin and fucking what's her name? Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ, she can't take a pin, right? She
Right.
can't.
Yeah.
She can't. But
No,
no,
it's can't. It's too soon.
she can't. It is. It's too soon.
It's,
Tony, do not let her take a pin.
no. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
He's done good in 20. He's done great. He's had a great run in 2025 so far. In my opinion, I think he'll keep it going at Dynasty.
I'm hoping that if Megan wins, we have her continue to attack Toni, or just kind of terrorize Toni until Mariah comes back and kind of saves Toni as a babyface, because she's deeply in love with Toni Storm.
I think that's where it's going. I really do. I think that's how you bring her back eventually to help Toni. But whether that's in a title picture with Megan Bain or whether she's moved on from that, I don't know. Ideally, you'd have Megan Bain put her out for a few months, but she already had that with Mariah May, so you can't really do that again. She's only been back since what, like December or something. So yeah, I don't know.
You can go ahead once that visa issue's up. You can go ahead and bring Jamie back as a heel. Have Jamie beat the hell out of Toni.
Yes. Well, she wants revenge, doesn't she, for her injury? So yeah,
right.
Why not? It's her title. She should never have lost it. She was injured. She basically handed her the belt. So yeah, why not bring her back? Have her beat the shit out of her, and then you could bring Mariah into that, because then you've got the two. You could have the English girl come back to save Toni, and then Mariah face off against England.
We've never had Jamie versus Mariah, have we?
No.
No.
God. Oh, now I'm for this. Yeah.
Both very stiff as well, so that'd be a fucking killer match.
Would you run that for Forbidden Door in England?
Oh God, yeah. That's it. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I mean, shit, can't think of a better place to run.
No.
Yeah, Mariah and Jamie Hayter. Boom.
Yeah.
Right
no, that's kind of perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I understand, like, okay, it's Forbidden Door, multiple promotions, but fuck, you can't pass up that opportunity in my opinion. But I guess if it's like a non-title match, I think that'll be perfectly fine. And I've already said, like, if Bane does have the title up until Forbidden Door, and like you have the CMLL inclusion as well, like, damn it, give me Megan Bane versus Persephone from CMLL, like,
fucking hell, yeah.
It's like she showed out for me in that 4-way at Dynasty, at Wrestle Dynasty. Yeah, she's fucking amazing.
Jamie and Mariah both got that history from Stardom as well. I wonder if like Mina's in Mariah's corner. That could be really, really good.
Yeah, because we still got Mina to come back as well, haven't we? Like, fuck yeah. Oh, there's loads of possibilities. But anyway, let's move on to this spot, shall we?
Yeah, listen, the spot is all we have to talk about. Like, the match, match was good. It was miles better than their main event at Revolution. I mean, anyone wise could see that. But yeah, the fucking spot. I mean, shit. Listen, I've been watching wrestling for over 30 years. There are spots like ingrained in my memory banks and brain that I'll never forget. It's Mankind being thrown off Hell in a Cell by Undertaker. It's Shawn Michaels with the crossbody over Razor, WrestleMania 10, the ladder match. But this fucking spot right here, I've never gagged or almost threw up watching a spot in wrestling. This shit almost had me that Wednesday night, like getting Mox taking a vertical suplex onto Spike. Like, holy fuck. Like, yeah, let's go. Like, Johnny, I mean, I saw your initial thoughts like on the video, but what was like what was going through your head like when you first saw that?
Yeah, so I thought we were just getting, a regular street fight here. I'll be honest, I haven't been exactly excited about Moxley and Cope. And then I don't think that I was genuinely all that shocked. Moxley took that spot, what was it, against Kenny in the cage match, or no, it was the Blood and Guts against the Elite, where it's that bed of nails. So I thought it was just gonna kind of be like that until you realize that it's so far in there and they can't get it off. And then when it's Yuta and the ref pulling Mox back out, that is where it started to get to being a memorable spot, because you usually don't see that in, I don't know how all the ins and outs happened with that in wrestling, but you figure, all right, they're doing it as safely as possible. And I'm sure they did. They just went, farther than people thought that they were going to do. No, that was genuinely one of the most shocking spots I've seen. And of course, that had to come from Moxley.
And let's not forget this little caveat that like I said, I think the Dynamite was in Des Moines. I think it was in Omaha, Nebraska. So yeah. they had a blizzard, like almost like over a foot of snow, in which I think a lot of talent couldn't even make it to the show. That's why you saw on Twitter that day, like Ospreay volunteered to be in a match, because I guess a lot of talent couldn't make it. And we find out that freaking Moxley had to drive over 11 hours to get to Dynamite because of the weather conditions. He drove 11 hours to fucking Dynamite and then takes that damn suplex on Spike. So I'm not going to say the guy's name, but we know of a certain Bellin, a certain nonce on Twitter who somehow says that John Moxley doesn't want to wrestle anymore. John fucking Moxley doesn't want to wrestle anymore. Drove 11 hours to a TV show to take that spot. On a TV match, not a pay-per-view, not one of the big four shows, a fucking episode of Dynamite in the middle of March. There is no better definition of a fucking hooper than John Moxley. There's no one who's a better representation of doing it for the love of the game like John Moxley is. Like, you may not be a fan of his title run and the whole Death Rider storyline or the feud between him and Cope. Like, Johnny, I'll agree with you on that. But I can never not put any respect on John Moxley's name for what he has done, not just his entire career, but at AEW, like being the champion, like being one of the locker room leaders. Like, holy crap. I mean, to say that guy doesn't want to wrestle anymore, like, holy fuck, man.
I think it's probably why he ended up doing the spot. I think he probably, had to call Tony and said, all right, if I'm driving 11 hours, I'm doing some crazy ass shit. Like, you're letting me, you're letting me get some shit in here. And so I'm taking the Spike fully in the back.
It was just great to see the best Dudley boy in that match with them. It was fantastic seeing Spike in there with them instead of one of the other seats.
I can vouch. Spike's best Dudley.
But it was sick. Same as you guys said, that I don't think I've ever felt like I'm going to throw up watching wrestling. I've seen some gruesome shit and just been like, oh God, watching that moment when Wheeler's trying to pull the Spike from his back, fuck me, that's horrible. That is absolute. It's one of the few things I've ever seen that made me want to throw up.
Did you guys think at all that they weren't getting it out of his back and they were going to give the title to Cope?
Yeah, I thought they were going to have to call it. I did. I thought they were going to have to call it off. Yeah. I thought it was stuck.
Once Yuta couldn't get it out, I was like, all right, yep, it's over.
It was. Yeah, no. Sorry, when you could see all of his skin on his back being pulled, fucking hell. Sorry, Brett, go on.
No, I was gonna say, it was crazy. You see the look and expression on Yuta's face. You see Paul Turner, well, I'm sure is shitting his pants as well. Like, thank God he has black pants as a ref. But it's funny, like, Johnny, I don't know if you recognize there was a point where Mox is talking to Yuta. I think he basically told him, like, yo, go outside, do the spot. He's directing traffic with a fucking Spike back.
He's a pro, dude.
Back, like, and that was the spot where Yuta gets powerbomb through the table by Copeland, and I wonder if Mox was kind of, this is me just talking off the deep end here with my aluminum foil hat on. Like, you see the way he's tensing, his back was tensing up. Like, what if he was trying his best to grip and tense up to keep the spikes in there for show? I don't know. Like I said, I might be bullshitting here, but that's. It just, and then when it comes out, the visual of the spikes, coming out, dude,
I think that's wishful thinking, mate. I think you're hoping that it was the best. I just think it was a fucked spot. It was clearly not intended. Like I say, that moment when Yuta's trying to pull out of his back and it's basically pulling the entirety of the skin on his back with it. It's I thought it was going to rip the skin off his back at one point. I really did. even now thinking about it, it's making me want to throw up. It's like we were actually going to talk about some of the worst, the best hardcore matches, whether the worst spots we've ever seen. That is the worst spot I think I've ever seen, outside of a obvious New Jack, trying to fucking murder someone spot. That is probably the worst one I've ever seen. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, damn,
Yeah.
we seen some real fucked up shit, but yeah, like you said, New Jack throwing someone off the scaffolding through how many damn tables? I mean, goddamn, like you said,
that's still probably the craziest moment I think I've seen in wrestling.
Yeah, that's the worst for me, because like he basically, because he's said since as well he wanted to kill the fucker. He's like, oh, I tried to kill him, and you're like, what the fuck? But this is a close second, especially it being an accident.
This is the safest version of the most gruesome spot that you've ever seen.
Yeah, with the least murderous intent, anyway.
Right.
Yeah, this was planned. Like, it was planned for him to take that spot in that bump in that, in that time of the match, and everything. But like I said, just a fucking consummate pro that Mox is. You got a dozen or so needles in your back, like stuck, and you're directing traffic like what the fuck are you doing? Get to the next spot. What are you doing? Like, my God.
He's an insane pro. He's an insane pro. I do hate the way that like Moxley is being viewed by a lot of fans because of the storyline. I'm not the biggest fan of the storyline anymore either, but I am so frustrated of the way that Moxley's getting talked about and acting like, this is all he does, and that his promos have never made sense. Now I've seen so many people say that he is a bad promo. So hopefully a crazy ass spot like this is the thing that we're talking about, and not, fucking how Moxley's ass.
We said before, the thing that's held that's basically given this helped with the stagnation of Death Rider. It's more the fact that like nothing's changed since day one. It was so promising, that first turn, the plastic bag, it really was, and since then just nothing. Like they really should have added a couple of other members, maybe a big heel turn, more of an NWO kind of copy, as cheap as it sounds, 'cause it works. But it's basically the exact same like Death Riders that it was 6 months ago, and nothing, or 5 months, whatever, and nothing's changed, and that's why people are fucking bored of it. It's not moved. It's not moved on. It's just stood where it was. It's a shame because there's so much potential, man. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, it hasn't evolved, like you said. From the plastic bag, it hasn't evolved. Really, but no, like John said, like, listen, this doesn't take away from how I feel as Mox, like, overall in his tenure with AEW. Listen, when shit was really going bad, from 2022 to 23, we could do other episodes like on the whole, brawl out and the CM Punk stuff. Like when things were really bad, when things were going to shit, who was it that Tony Khan kept calling on to, like, stay around to help right the ship? It was always Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley was always the one that Tony leaned on when, with the whole Punk drama, with the Elite and all that stuff. I mean, it was always Jon Moxley that he leaned on to. Like, that was a time where he was supposed to go away on vacation. Or matter of fact, even better, he was not. I think the rumor was, like, maybe you guys can help confirm, that was the rumor. He wasn't working on a contract.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're right.
He wasn't working on a contract. He could have easily done one or two things. He could have told Tony to fuck off, I'm not doing all that stuff, or he could have said, okay, I'll help you out, but I want X amount of years, X amount of money on my new contract. No, he basically worked a handshake agreement until he renewed and re-upped. Like we said earlier, all the crazy ass spots that you've seen over the years, him take on TV and pay-per-views, that does not truly capture the man that Jon Moxley is. He is the total professional that will put the entire other roster and the greater good of AEW before his own well-being. I mean, like, he took that damn spot, and look, it's been all over the news. It's been all over TMZ and so many other news outlets that probably didn't even know that AEW existed. They're getting so much buzz from that spot. I mean, and you saw, like, I'm not normally one for the ratings discourse, but they got a nice big bump up from that spot. I mean, they've been getting nice little upticks the past month or so. So, I mean, it's stuff like this that, as gruesome as it might be, it does play a purpose in getting interest from people who may not be a fan of the product. I mean, like I said, how many in the wrestling industry are willing to put their lives and body on the line the way that Mox is for the greater good of the company? I mean, he is truly one of one, in my opinion.
I can tell you one that used to be. You used to put his body on the line like Mox, and he's one of Mox's heroes, or was one of Mox's heroes. Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Fucking absolute legend. There's a reason that he's one of Mox's heroes. You know, Mox basically seems to be the modern day Terry Funk, really, in the way he wrestles and the way he kind of handles himself and stuff. And Terry Funk was also an expert in death matches, which is a great segue into the deathmatch tournament that's happening next week. What do you reckon, Mike?
Oh, it's going to be fantastic, isn't it? I can't fucking wait.
TNT Wrestling, the TNT Extreme Wrestling, the company that proudly carries our logo on the mat, have a deathmatch tournament. I don't know if our logo will be visible, actually, will it, Mike? Because of the they usually cover it up with it. Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be fantastic. We'll get some. If you think that spot was gruesome with Mox, some of the shit that you're going to see on this. Some of the guys who were in this were in a tournament over the weekend. Not a tournament, a series of events over the weekend in Sheffield that Gav and a couple of others went to, and I've seen some of the clips on the internet. Fucking hell. There was one guy was wrestling his dad, and he finished him by electrocuting him. He had it tied in the ropes, and he had a couple of jumper cables, and he's like touching them together, getting the sparks kicking off. Puts them one on the other arm, and the guy's like getting shocked on the fucking ropes. Crazy stuff.
I was about to say, like, was it another Kane and Shane McMahon?
That's what I thought.
No, but both these guys are in the deathmatch tournament at the weekend. Jack had up an Iceman, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens there. Father and son, father and son face. Are they facing each other in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, they're the first quarterfinal. Yeah.
Okay, hell. That's crazy.
What's the announced anyway?
What's the match stipulation? Is that to bring your own weapons one?
It might be 2 seconds. I'll confirm.
Yeah. Anyway, lads. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with DOA. I know we chatted about it earlier, but you should watch it on Triller because it's going to be fucking crazy.
Bring your own weapons. Like what weapons would you guys bring to a show like that?
Well, it's funny because when we spoke to Jay last week, we asked him the craziest ones, and you probably heard, like, he said someone brought an axe to one show.
Whoa!
And he was like, "Fucking, I can't use that, like a full-on axe." And he said that the most weirdest one was that he said someone brought a 24-inch dildo that they'd painstakingly covered in thumbtacks.
Oh my
drawing
God.
Pins, as we call them over here. Yeah, and so he said he had he was like thinking to himself, who the fuck has sat there for hours putting all these thumbtacks in that?
I don't even want to think of the process of that, man. That is like
Sir, I don't even know what I'm gonna take. My missus said she might just take a SpongeBob umbrella we got lying around. I might take I'm going to get a fucking a cane figure, because if you fucking hit some of that, they might catch CTE.
Nobody really in wrestling has used like the crossbow or anything, you know? Just thinking of this in like, in terms of like video games like D&D or anything, we're all going after like the, brutal weapons, but a crossbow seems like, you can step on the turnbuckle and, take some people out.
Fucking hell, the match should be over in about 2 seconds. We could use that from the balcony, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if Sting ended up adding a crossbow to his repertoire. He'd be champion.
He's perfect. He lives up in the rafters, man. Like, boom, taking one at a time, man.
Darby Allin, take note. That's how we're ending this mock story. That's crazy.
I'll take that. No, so did you set it to barbed wire death match, that one?
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the bring your own weapons one? Who's that?
I'll say, I'm just scrolling.
You got the card there. Should we run for the card, like from the start? Because this is gonna be fucking brilliant. This.
You know what I'd do if I was attending a show like that? I would wear my my steel-toed Timberland boots, and when they come on me, I would take one of my boots off and like hand it to them, like, yo, just hit him with the boot, like right to the skull, like they're not waking up. It's innovative, right?
I'm looking forward to seeing your deathmatch debut, Brett.
Oh man,
Ideally
Can't.
against JD.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that would be nice.
you know what? I've met JD a couple times. Like I was at the first Forbidden Door 2022 in Chicago. Yeah, met him there, and then he was at the Green Man Pub at the first All In at 2023. I mean, you know what? Listen, I like he already like I'm grateful he already blocked me on Twitter, but I just don't. It's just fucking I don't know. He went down a wormhole that there's no return from. I mean, I just hope for whatever it's worth. Like, I hope it's worth it for him in the long run. But it really says a lot. Like when you get pulled from the main event at House of Glory because of all the shit that you talked about Mercedes for the past year, and like it's pretty obvious. But like I said, I don't want to give him like too much airtime. Like he doesn't deserve it, in my opinion.
Fuck him. Anyway, Mike, have you got the card there? We need to talk about the events at the weekend. Level up. Let's go.
Yeah, man, I've got it ready. Got it ready to go. I'm looking forward to this. By the way, it's going to be great. The
Oh,
afternoon.
I can't wait, mate. It's gonna be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's going to be fantastic. It's the afternoon show, so it's family friendly, but you're going to see some great wrestling. I'm just going to fly through the card now. So the
Yeah, go
first
for it, man.
match, we got FTM versus Gareth from the Bad Boy Chiller Crew and a mystery partner.
Who do you think the
Fuck knows
mystery
who that's
partner
going
is?
to be.
Who do you reckon it is?
I reckon it's going to be someone else from the Bad Boy Chiller Crew, mate.
I reckon it's Aaron on the balcony with us. Okay.
Imagine that.
It's
That'd
just
go off.
JBL. No, I haven't got a fucking clue. Yeah, it could be. I have a few theories, but I'll wait to tell you until Saturday because I need to check on the injury status of someone. But yeah,
Yeah, no, defo. Second match, we've got a bit of a grudge match. It's Tom Tellwell versus Scott Oberman. I'm a big fan of Scott. I've seen him around a few places lately, and
yeah.
every time I see him,
No, he's on pretty much every show that pops up lately. He's working his ass off. I think
yeah,
is the atomic champion as well, is he?
he is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be seeing him there then in April. And yeah, I'm a fan of Tom Thelwell just from my first exposure to him was that Cold Day in Hell at the end when the death match didn't go as planned, and he just stepped in and took a few light tubes to send us home happy. So, what a man! I'll probably be cheering him on just for that. To be fair,
Yeah, no, he did well there, to be fair, didn't he? And then the name of the event, as we say, is Level Up, and that's because TNT have two Level Up scramble matches, the six-person matches, one for the women, one for the men. So we'll just go through them quick. So on the women's side, we've got Lucia Lee, Rio, Lily Winter, Lana Austin, Leah Raven, and Holly Barlow.
I think we may see some of the Holly Barlow, Lana Austin friends but not friends thing play into this
Definitely.
because there's a lot of stuff where they're back and forth. Holly Barlow wants to be a busy mate and be a tag team with her. Lana Austin's just fucking swatting it away all the time. Leave me alone. I don't know you. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. You got to be honest. It screams a real win. That's almost too obvious, isn't it? It's yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I'm
Who do
pulling
you?
for Lana, me. I'm not gonna lie.
I think most people will
You
be
know,
out there. Everyone loves Lana, apart from the
can't
kids in
not
the
love
crowd.
Lana.
Apart from the kids in the crowd that she gives loads of shit to and makes them cry.
Love it. Fuck them kids.
Fuck the kids. Not literally.
No. And then
Not
on,
J- not
on the
J- J-
men's,
Jimmy Savile is not affiliated with this podcast.
no, definitely not. And on the men's side, the men's match,
Bullet,
fucking hell.
bullet. That bullet. That's all we need. Bullet. Sorry about
Yeah,
your ring, Jay, but bullet's got this ring is going to be moving more than it.
yeah. I don't know what he's done booking this match, fucking hell.
I know.
Just go through the lineup quickly. We've got Bullet, who is obviously the favourite of GWP to win the match. We've got Lim Reaper, Lewis Johnson. We've got Shreddy, got Jimmy Jackson, Joe Kessler, and Najee.
I just want to know if Jimmy Jackson's going to work a handstand, fucking hand, whatever it's called, walk on his hands round the ring, spot into it again, because that was fucking brilliant in the Rumble. That
Oh,
was
it's
fucking
fantastic.
great. But no, they'd be good. But like, I'm not looking any further than Bullets. I was a big fan of Bullet within about 5 minutes at the last show. So, you know, he's the one, isn't he?
Yeah, that same. I can't look past Bullet. Probably the loudest size of venue, the loudness of pop ratio I've ever heard in my life when he come out to that Rumble 2 months ago.
It was the speculation one afterwards when we were like, I hope he's in the fucking Rumble. He was brilliant, and he
Yeah,
did.
yeah, we
And
literally called it.
that was class. Yeah, and yeah, as we will talk about the main event. I suspect. Oh, I should say I suspect. I'm not fucking Sherlock Holmes. I would like Bullet to be getting the next title shot. Which, if we're going on to that now, I will say I think MVK is going to win, and that would be a rematch from the last show, and it was a good match. So yeah,
Yeah.
go for it. Should we go on to that one?
MVK versus Joseph Connors, a rematch
Yeah,
from Cold Day in Hell in November. Um, First match was great. I'm loving the story that they're doing with Joseph at the minute, with
it's
him
good, isn't it?
sort of second guessing himself whether he can still go at that level.
Do you know what?
Um, he
He's
can.
really he's great on the mic, isn't he? Like because
Fantastic.
he's not got the I don't know what I would wear. He's not got the something else that the likes of Leonardo Darwin and Tate Mayfair's has, but he's his character and the way he is just like a very honest, good guy. Do you know what I mean? The way he talks,
Yeah.
and he got. I remember that when he lost to MVK and he was giving it the I'm gonna gonna. Well, no, hang on. Did he lose to MVK? My mind's gone blank.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Cold Day,
Yeah, and he was giving it the whole. I'm going to come back. I'm going to try again. I want that title. And the crowd, there's some of the crowd are booing him, and he was like, and he instantly was like, look, if you don't like me, that's fine. Respect your views, but I'm going to try and work hard. And I just thought that was great, that because to keep going and not let them, not let the. I was going to say the knobheads. It was probably kids booing him, but anyway, not let
yeah.
the negative Nancy's in the crowds, get him down. I like him. He's a very good wrestler as well, so it's going to be good. Be a good match. That, but MVK, you can't look past MVK, can you? It's a fucking monster, that fella.
Yeah, mate, exceptional, physicality in the ring, the way he works is fantastic. I'm a big fan of MVK.
Yeah, I think we all are. I know Gav and Dale are big fans of him. They don't want him to ever lose the belt, but I'm sorry, Team Bullet here, so I'm afraid that's the path I would like to see. Got to give the
Yeah,
people
hopefully
what
at
they
the next
want.
event.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, and yeah, the women's title then. What do you reckon?
I honestly don't know. All I know is that I'm looking forward to this match. It's going to be a fucking banger.
It is
Big fan of both competitors.
same. The idea of unifying the titles is very interesting as well. It ties in with the very similar to what Jay was saying when we spoke to him last week, in that he doesn't see this anymore as you know
NXT, WWE.
yeah, it's more of a SmackDown Raw now. He wants to see them on the same level. He wants to try and push them onto the same level, and it's not going to be like the trainees and the kind of less experienced guys on one. He's just going to try and do them, and you can see that with looking to try and measure titles. That definitely seems the way it's going, which which does
100%.
it does make for an interesting future if it goes that way with the men's side of things as well. Fucking hell.
Yeah, no. Going to be interesting to see what the future holds in that regard.
It really is. It's I can't wait. And the events, the daytime events class as well. Like I don't know if you know anyone going there, or anyone who's going who hasn't been to Fusion. It's a spot on little venue. It's a nightclub. So you can get drinks and snacks and all that there as well. We'll have our mate Aaron from Renderbomb will be there selling some of his cool. What would you call it? Is it like what the term be for his stuff? Not merch, is
Merchandise.
it? Is it? Yeah,
Yeah, kind of.
he's
Really
got a
cool
vet.
shit.
Yeah, cool shit essentially. Yeah, and then yeah, there's a cool space in the corner where all the wrestlers will be selling their own merchandise, and you got the TNT merch. It's cool. It's a really nice little venue with Mortal Kombat looking spikes on the roof that are actually lights, not spikes, but whatever. And it's good. I really can't wait. It's the daytime show, as I said previously, surprised me because I did expect it to be like one of them kids events, and it's just not. It's just a yeah. It's fine for kids, but if you're an adult, you still like it because I did. Or maybe I'm just a big kid. I don't know, but whatever. It's good. Really looking forward to it. I can't wait. And then, as usual, Mike, we'll go. We'll get some food. We'll get a couple of drinks. We'll come back. We have the meet and greet. Well, we have the meet and greet because we went with the VIP meet and greet option. I'd advise everyone to do that if you can because it's great. So we'll get in and we'll get our
Definitely.
pictures with all the DOA entrance, and hopefully my picture won't look shite this time like it did last time because I was kind of pulling a funny face, whatever. Well, not intentionally. And yeah, it'd be good. And I'm really excited about that. It's going to be insane. But when you see
Yeah.
some of the stuff that these fellas do in the death matches, mate, it's like you're watching it well, Drew Parker's one of my faves, so I'm really excited for his match against Emerson Jane. It's a rematch. I think the stipulation is if Emerson loses, she's gone from TNT, or
Yeah.
she will never challenge for the title again, something like that.
No, she's
can't remember,
gone.
to be honest. She's gone completely, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think Drew Parker is one of the best deathmatch wrestlers in the world, if not the best. He actually did say himself that he thinks deathmatch wrestlers who wrestle in a t-shirt are pussies, and he doesn't. Fucking hell, you should see the state of his back. It's like Freddy Krueger's face, the amount of scars he's got. It's fucking crazy.
Jesus Christ.
He's fucking incredible though. He's so good at what he does, and he'll have his darts with him. You know, darts is getting bigger all over the world. Well, Drew Parker's always got a little set of darts with him, ready to throw people. So
That's the
yeah,
closest thing to my crossbow analogy. So.
yeah. Do you know what it is? Isn't it
Yeah.
actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Parker, if you're listening, crossbow mate, it's not been done yet.
That'll be next up.
Yeah, why not?
No, like you said, just imagine someone has darts in, bam, dart right in between the eyes. Like, holy shit.
Well, in the last one against Emerson, he put some darts through her cheeks, and it made the Hangman Swerve syringe look like a child's program.
Oh my god.
And there was one from the weekend there, a clip I'd seen from. He trapped a guy in a barbed wire. What was it like a barbed wire rack? So this guy's bent over, caught in this barbed wire rack, and Drew Parker's behind him with his darts. One dart bounces off his ass. Another dart bounces off his ass. The third dart, fucking hell, it goes right into his fucking ass cheek. So
Oh.
yes, there's gonna be light tubes aplenty. Fucking whatever they can get their hands on. It's gonna be
On a side note, I never knew like until I think it was it last year? I saw a clip on TikTok. I guess it was the darts championship over there. Like just the crowd and reaction over there. Like they were just going,
it's fucking huge, man.
just shot for shot. Like it was like I forget the guys' names, but they couldn't miss. And it was like, damn, you thought it was like game, like for here in the States, like you think it's like game 7 of the NBA finals, like type of excitement type shit. I was like, damn, I watched that clip over and over with my dad. He was amazed.
It's huge. I remember someone on the internet was thought they were being clever, saying, "Oh, darts gets more views than AEW." It's like it gets more views than fucking WWE. Fuck's sake. It pisses over any wrestling event. It's fucking insane how popular darts is. Considering it's just people throwing a fucking dart at a little circular board, And the fucking best in the world is like fucking, what is he now? 17, is he?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah. And he just likes playing FIFA and eating kebabs apparently. So yeah, whatever. That's one way of trading, isn't it? So anyway, that's the match. That's the match I'm really excited for, mainly because Drew Parker is one of my favourites. I'm really excited. I can't wait for that. It's going to be gruesome. But I actually think the real gruesome stuff's going to come in this tournament, because some of them stipulations, Mike, fucking hell, we've got.
I know.
We've got barbed wire, haven't we? Barbed wire deathmatch. We've got. I'm trying to think what ones we had. Barbed wire deathmatch.
Well, this is what we'll do, Andy. I'm going
Because
to go
I
to
want.
the tournament now.
Yeah, well, I just want to ask the lads what they think this match is, and you know which one it is. Let me just find the where's. I've got a picture of it somewhere. I'm sure I have.
I've got it here. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, go on. If you want to read the match types out for us, and we'll just see what they think is. See what you guys think this is going to be, because I haven't got a fucking clue on one of them.
Okay, so the first quarterfinal is Steen versus Tomby, and it's a snap, crackle, and pop deathmatch.
This is the one. What the fuck is a snap, crackle, and pop deathmatch?
The fuck?
I mean, Rice Krispies can be dangerous to your mouth. I mean, I don't know if it's, I don't know
They
if
could.
it's, you know, shoving Rice Krispies in each other's mouths.
Does it involve fireworks?
I haven't got a fucking clue. You would imagine so.
Fireworks, thumbtacks. What's the snap? This might be the bone.
Kendo sticks.
Yeah, kendo stick. Yeah, kendo sticks.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
So
the kendo sticks could be the snap.
Yeah.
Firecrackers or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Firecrackers is the crack, and the pop is thumbtacks.
Light tubes.
Oh, we're light tube. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you hit someone, they really fucking pop, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do actually. Yeah. Fuck. Sparklers.
Right.
Leftover ones from the Kenny Omega John Moxley exploding barbed wire death match. They might have some there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this is anyway, because I have no fucking idea. I'm essentially going with what you guys think, but yeah. What's the next one?
So we got the father and son quarterfinal. We got Iceman versus Jack Harrop in a barbed wire death match.
Get now, father versus son. That's just
Damn.
fucking grim.
Yeah, that's going to be so grim.
Imagine having your son wrapped up in barbed wire in a fucking death match, cutting the shit out of it. Fucking hell.
Like, damn it, I told how many times I told you to put the toilet seat down?
Yeah, fucking hell.
This is for all the years I told you to wash the dishes and you never did it.
Brett, how long or how much do you think that Brawny looks at that and goes, "Thank God that my dad played basketball instead"?
Oh yeah, I mean shit. Like I can imagine he gets like he'll get like a little little jaw jacket during the game. Like, no, he's supposed to be doing this. Like, I'm sure I would hope Brawny would be like, yeah, and then look over what they're doing in TNT and like, yeah, I'm good. Give me all the sports pundits talking bad about me and my dad. Like, I'll take that a million times over than I have like a gruesome spot on my head. Like, imagine your father, you wrap your son around it and barbed wire and power bomb him through a table of like other barbed wire and shit like that.
It could also be super healthy to a family, because you've definitely wanted to do that to a family member once, in your life. So that could actually be very, very healthy. You get out of a lot of frustration.
Oh yeah, I mean, you go back to the all right, maybe not father and son, but you go back to like the Brett versus Owen matches. I mean, like the shit that they did in their matches. I mean, especially that steel cage match. I mean, you could get a lot of pent up frustration, out there, and then after the match, you're in the back, you hug it out and you move on.
I just think father versus son. No fucking hell. It's like one step from that is being fucking Fred West, essentially. It's I don't know if you guys know who Fred West is, but yeah, it's grim. Anyway, what's the next match? And please tell me it's not a Joseph Fritzl fucking death match.
The last match, I'm guessing, is Aspen Faith versus just announced, literally just before we started recording, the return of Clint Margera in the fans bring the weapons match.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I hope no one brings a fucking axe this time.
Someone needs to bring some nunchucks.
Oh fuck yeah, that's a good one.
Yes. But that could also be dangerous, like for whoever's using it, because I mean you got to be, I mean, damn, like I've heard I see like dude, like the person using the nunchucks could easily fuck themselves as bad as the person they're using them against if they don't know how to use them.
Anyone who's ever as a child, tried nunchucks, knows exactly what you're talking about there, Brett. I know I do. Fucking,
It's
it's a good job
Liverpool
camera
as well,
phones
so
wearing.
someone could possibly bring nunchucks.
Yeah, it's a good job camera phones wearing around when I was fucking around with nunchucks as a kid. Fucking hell.
Right.
So so basically,
Obviously,
out of all those death matches as well, they're going to go through to the winners are going to go through to face each other, and then again in a final. So that's going to be. Imagine going through all that in one night. Fucking deserved whoever wins that.
So wait, you're telling me that the three winners of the winners of those three matches are going to have one more match at the end of the night?
Sorry, yeah, there's 4 matches. What was the fourth, Mike?
oh yeah, of course, yeah. Sorry, that's me. Yeah, that's me. I messed up there. It's a rodeo match.
What's a rodeo match? That's
And
another one. I haven't got a fucking clue.
it's Tim Strange and Ricky Shane Page.
Ricky Shane Page, man, fucking hell.
Ricky Shane Page from the glorious state of Ohio.
That's gonna be. He is, isn't he? Yeah, fucking hell.
A rodeo match? Like that sounds like it should be taking place in Texas.
I struggle to think what that could be, but it's gonna be fucking brilliant.
It's probably gonna. Do you know, I haven't got a fucking clue. I was gonna say it would probably involve fucking bull ropes or something, but I really don't know.
I hope it involves a horse. We need more horses in wrestling. Man.
Yeah.
You aren't getting a horse infusion.
The ring will be beat up enough after fucking bullets been bouncing on the ropes a few times. So I don't think a horse would go down well there, especially with them fucking lights. Yeah, no, I haven't got a fucking clue. I don't know what that's going to be, but basically, yeah, all these guys are going to go against each other. Winners are going to go on to the next round, and then we end up with a final, and the winner's the DOA champion 25. It's going to be fucking brilliant.
A fucking next round. Like,
I know, it's fucking nuts, isn't it? You've lost fucking 2 pints of blood, and you're like 2 pints of blood, and you got a dart in your cheek, and you're like, right, you're on again in 10 minutes.
And nobody's going to be getting a tetanus shot in between all of this.
We've actually got the stipulations for the semis, and same as some of the quarters. I've got no idea what this could be. So semi 1 is a log cabin death match.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking clue.
That's amazing. I have no idea what that could be, but that's amazing.
That sounds like it should be That sounds like it should be a cinematic match, like taking place like up in the woods or something like that. Yeah.
Second semi is a Pits of Pain death match.
That's on par.
That could be spikes on the floor, Mortal Kombat style.
Ooh.
Do you know
round the ring, yeah, round the ring. Them fucking boards and nails.
Ooh.
He's a big fan of Mortal Kombat, isn't he? So you know.
And
then the final is an extreme death match, which kind of sounds tame.
It does, doesn't it?
That's the most. That's the most tame match that you've said so far.
What are they gonna do in a fucking extreme death match that they haven't done in a fucking rodeo or snap crackle and pop match?
But no, I want to stress again. I'm so fucking excited for this. Like, it's been one of them months, and it's all month I've been like DOA.
It's gonna be fucking brilliant. I can't. It's a hell of a day. It's fucking great, and yeah, we'll go down. We'll be staying down. We'll have a couple of drinks. It's in a nightclub, which is great because you can get like fucking snacks and drinks and stuff as well. So you haven't got to fuck off anywhere. It's one of the best fucking shows I go to be honest. It's great. It's fantastic. And we also have Tate Mayfair said he's gonna try and stop deathmatch wrestling, so I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do if he turns up. And we have Gain, the return of Gain.
Let's go.
Facing a face off with Leonardo Darwin. So that should be interesting. I have my theories about that. I won't say it on air because it'll probably be completely wrong. But I've told you, Mike, what my theory is, and I'm very excited. I'm a big fan. Darwin's another one of them ones I hadn't really. It's great, isn't it? When there's a wrestler you haven't really heard of much, and they just grab you instantly, and you're like, I need to see more. And that's what it was like with Darwin. It was when he was revealed as Gain, or revealed not to be Gain. I'd never seen him up until that point, and he gave a hell of a fucking promo, and to the point where I was like, I need to see more of this fella. And I've looked up some of his stuff since, and he's fucking brilliant. I'm a huge fan. I can't wait to see what transpires there on Saturday. He's a really nice fella as well. I was chatting to him at the bar afterwards. But yeah, it's going to be a fucking great event. That, and we'll probably do a review at some point. We'll see if we can get Jay back on and do a review once it's done and go over the matches, because I'd imagine there's going to be a lot of talking points after this. And yeah, like we said, you lads can watch it on Thriller Plus. I think all the TNT events are on Thriller Plus now, aren't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So yeah, and while you're on Thriller Plus, you might as well watch the last one because it was excellent. It was a fucking great event, the Merseyside Massacre. But yeah, it's good. Looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great day.
No, I'm actually very interested. It was a maple log cabin match. Now I might have to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you sold me with those explanations. I mean, I already have a Triller Plus, and I'm trying my best like to catch up or be caught up as best as I can with TNT and the other promotions as well. But no, like Johnny said, the log cabin match, I gotta fucking watch now.
One of the highlights of the year for me, definitely.
To be honest, it's a great couple of weeks because we got TNT DOA on the Saturday. I think Progress is on the Sunday.
So Progress is on Sunday, yes, Andy. And as I'm going to the show, I'll just take it from here if you don't mind. Hi everybody, this is Dan. I'm MIA this week, but I thought I'd come on to talk about Progress because that's what I'm going to be doing this Sunday at Chapter 178. Fix Your Hearts. It's actually blasting into London's Electric Ballroom on the 30th of March, and looking at this card, it's going to be a wild one. You can watch this on Demand Progress, which is their own streaming service, or you can watch it on Triller Plus, which I'd really recommend getting, especially if you're going to be watching TNT as well. I'm going to try and watch that as well on the Saturday, but I'm actually going to Progress live on Sunday with a good friend of mine. And what better Mother's Day present than treat her to an afternoon of wrestling? But no, in all seriousness, we've got some absolute chaos on deck at Fix Your Hearts, starting with a no ropes I quit tag team match, which let's be honest, is tailor made for Lycos Gym. Between these teams as well, like Mills and Nico Angelo, they might have like the technical or the power edge, but there's a good like sort of powerhouse and lightning quick speed dynamic that these two teams have going on. They've been actually kind of feuding with each other for a couple of months now, so I think this could mark the end of this feud. They might go on to do different things after this, so this should be an absolute barn burner. But yeah, it's hard to predict this one. So, getting Kid Lycos or Lycos 2 to kind of give up, it feels like that's about as hard as pinning down a wasp. So, I don't see how this is gonna go, but I'm actually kind of really excited about this. It should go down with an absolute bang. It could end up being like match of the night, or at least one of the highlights. I'm a big fan of like all four of the people here, and Progress has a tendency to deliver when it's like like the first match of its kind, and this is the first no ropes I quit match in Progress history. So I'm really excited to see how this develops. Another one, we've got Trent Seven against Cara Noir. And honestly, for a first time dream match between these icons of different Progress eras, I have no idea what kind of match this will be. Well, that's actually a lie. I've actually got some kind of idea what kind of match this will be. It will feature a shitload of chops and strikes. It'll be hard hitting. It'll be quite emotional, possibly, and it could even it could be one of those ones which spills into the crowd and the bar area. We know that Cara is a bit unpredictable, and Trent's kind of going through his like redemption era after his stints in the US. It's going to be the first time we've seen him in a Progress ring for a little while. I'm really excited to see him there. He's always been, a real highlight to me whenever I've seen him live. So, and Kara's phenomenal. He's he's one of the best to do it, and he's just looking so good since he come back from his injury. So this one could be a real talking point come the end of the night. But as to who's winning, I couldn't tell you. So we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Another one. We've got Session Moth Martina against Charles Crowley. And if Session Moth actually beats Lucy Sky in Liverpool the night before, she's going to be coming in as a unified TNT Women's Champion. Pulling double duty. 2 wins. That'd be cracking that. But imagine that, winning a title on Saturday and then dealing with Charles Crowley's nonsense on Sunday. That's range. But in all seriousness, this one has a bit of a dramatic story to it. In storyline, they were once allies, but Session Moth turned on Crowley to form and join Moth Dog. And just over time, she's just been humiliating him and making his life a bit more miserable each time they cross paths. But fix your hearts, expect some chaos, some shenanigans, maybe a little dance, and probably a bit of green mist before someone gets planted for the 3 count. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Actually, it could be really, really fun. And speaking of things that could be quite fun, we've got another match which could again very well steal the show. You could say that about any of them, to be honest, but this one could be a real surprise. Michael Oku against Miles Kamen. Should be really fast paced. Should be a bit of a spectacle. Oku's been one of the best in the UK for a little while, and you can argue he's the very best that still remains in the UK without being signed to one of the big boys in the States. But Kamen's got a chance to show that he belongs at that level. So Oku's actually challenging for the title at Chapter 179 against Luke Jacobs. So that's in Vegas. So it may, this match may sort of appear on the surface like a bit of a foregone conclusion. But you say that, and Kamen got a win over Connor Mills at Chapter 173, and I was there for that. So he's clearly got what it takes to hang with the best of them. And if he takes Oku to the limit, this could be one of those matches that people are still talking about. It could really sort of solidify Miles Kamen. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. But yeah, what else we got? This one should be a real highlight, actually. I think so. You got the Smoking Aces versus Sunshine Machine for the Progress tag titles, and I mean, this just has to deliver. The Aces are absolute killers in the tag division. They're just so smooth and crisp in like everything that they do. I've said this time and time again. They remind me a bit of a modern day British Strong Style in many ways. But Mambo and TK aren't exactly slouches in their own right. The Progress crowds absolutely love them. And this match is quite interesting as well because there's quite a lot of stakes involved. So if Sunshine Machine lose, they can never challenge for the belts again. But if the Aces win, then they're disbanded as a tag team. So whichever way it goes, it kind of has implications for the short and long term of the tag division. And it could be, it could be match of the night if they let loose enough and they let it get down really close to the wire. So I'm quite interested to see how this one fares. So there's 3 more. So we've got Nina Samuels against Millie McKenzie in a non-title match, which is a bit surprising because Nina's actually said she's refusing to defend the belt until she gets to face Riho at Vegas, Chapter 179. So despite that being a non-title match, well, for now, because who knows what could happen at bell time, this one could still surprise a few people. Millie just, if you've not seen her, she just suplexes people to death. So if you're a fan of that, then this is one for you. But Nina's kind of smart enough to find a way around that. No titles for now, no stakes. It could just be an absolute fight. Could be a bit of a hidden gem. So, yeah, that could have some surprises in store for us, I'd say. But the last two. So first of all, for the Proteus title, we got Simon Miller against Gene Money. Well, we all know Simon Miller as the enviably kind of positive and energetic YouTube and podcast guy, but let's be honest, he's a damn good wrestler. And Gene Money, he's absolutely hilarious at the best of times, especially with Will Cruz and Moth Dog. I kind of love the dynamic that those two have. So I believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is going to be a Doghouse Rules match. So according to a recent Twitter poll that Simon put out there, I don't know if it's changed since then. That's what I remember it being. But this could be absolutely ridiculous and hysterical, but also maybe a little bit violent. Seems to be a common theme for this Mother's Day weekend. If our indie wrestling escapades are anything to go by, could be violent. So my money's on a bit of both. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see Simon Miller. I think he's absolutely class, and he's great in the ring. But lastly, the main event is it seems to be the main event is Eddie Dennis and Tate Mayfez in a last man standing match. So Eddie has, he's a veteran. He's one of the best in the British scene of the last several years. He's been around long enough to know like exactly how to get the best out of his opponent, and especially when it's in like hardcore kind of violent matches, and he knows how to torture someone. And Tate, well, let's just see if he's still talking after getting battered all over Camden. So this one's a battle of former friends and a grudge match between like a mentor and a mentee. Tate cost Eddie the world title a while back, and this seems to be the one where they settle the score like once and for all. So it could really, whatever happens, could dictate the short and the long term future of the main event, maybe the world title scene, depending on what happens with Jacobs and Oku. But I'm just such a fan of Tate Mayfez as well, because he's correct when he says Tateness is greatness. Apologies to Lucy, she'll hate me for that one, but I think this match could very well make him. He's already like the TNT world champion, and it wouldn't surprise me if in a few months' time that he ends up being the Progress world champion. He's that good. So yeah, fix your hearts. It looks to be insane. Every match has got a bit of intrigue behind it, and that's all I really have to say. But I'll pass you back over to the boys now to continue another great episode. But yeah, if you're free, I'd really recommend giving it a watch on Triller or on Demand Progress if you can't make it down to London. I think it's going to be cracking. I'm especially looking forward to Tate potentially cementing his place atop Progress. Session Moth antics, the Smoking Aces tearing it up. Hopefully not for the last time. Trent back in the Progress ring, Oku just doing his thing, and Simon Miller just proving to everyone what a great wrestler he is. It's just mad. Like for someone who can wrestle as good as he can YouTube and he can podcast, it's quite incredible.
It's just as rare to see a entertaining, good, positive wrestling YouTuber as it is for them to also transition to being a good wrestler.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. No, it's crazy. We went to the Progress events in February in Manchester, and he was in the main event with Charles Crowley, and it was brilliant. It's just he's just entertaining as fuck. Like, he's not the best wrestler in the world at all, but I don't know, he's just got a bit of charisma, when he carries himself really, really well, and it's just entertaining and fun. It's just fun wrestling essentially at the end of the day, which is all you want most of the time.
He's just one of those guys, like whether it's him commentating on wrestling on YouTube, or like just him as a wrestler, or just a person in general. Like, he's one of those people that if you have a problem with Simon Miller, then it's you who has the problem. In a sense,
exactly.
Like, I mean, the dude's awesome, man.
And then a week after that, we have Dynasty, which I'm sure we'll talk more about next week when we do a full. I mean, we've done kind of partial previews, haven't we? Like, and fantasy booking, but we'll have a better idea then in terms of where we're going. So that should be good. And then that leads into the whole fucking WrestleMania weekend on it, where we've got about 25 events over a weekend, but no Ring of Honor,
Yes,
which is a
they
shame.
no, but it is, but it isn't in the sense that listen, it's gonna have its own weekend. It'll be May 2nd in Atlantic City that they're gonna hold it in this
Oh,
year.
they said that, yeah. Sorry, I hadn't seen that. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
it wasn't on.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they made it official yesterday. So it's gonna be
Okay.
May 2nd in Atlantic City.
Yeah, well, that's fair. To be fair, on the WrestleMania weekend, you compete with so many other promotions, aren't you? Anyway, it's going to be a nightmare.
And plus, also, it gives a lot of a lot of the AEW and Ring of Honor talent a chance to work some of those events.
Yeah,
WrestleMania
That's true.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could work the blood sport show or whatever other promotions are going to be there. So in a way, whether it was his intention or not, like Tony's like giving his talent like a lot of opportunities to work different events over the weekend in Vegas. So I mean, like I said, whether it's intentional or not, I mean it's a great look on his part as well.
yeah. There was a guy. Yeah, I was telling you guys this the other day. I listened to a gaming podcast, No Clip, and one of the guys on there, Frank Howley, he's a big wrestling fan, and he was talking about how he's going to Mania weekend in Vegas. He's going to 7 shows. Not one of them. Not one of them was Mania. He's just got 7 shows lined up for that weekend.
Hmm.
All sorts of mad ones, a couple of GCW ones. Not one of them was Mania. It's just going to be a crazy weekend of wrestling. A lot of it'll be on Triller as well, won't it? So be
Yeah.
entertaining.
So you
Yeah,
know what?
last-
Sorry, John. I just wanted to,
No, you're good.
while you're here, John, I gotta ask you this. So we talking about we talked about WrestleMania weekend. We
Yeah.
got the Hall of Fame ceremony, and we know that Lex Luger is going to be inducted. So I wanted your opinion as far as the request. I think Lex Luger wants Sting to induct him, but of course that would have to be up to Tony Khan since obviously Sting's under contract. If you are Tony Khan, do you allow Sting to participate and induct Luger to the Hall of Fame?
You're asking quite possibly the worst person or the best person on this subject because Sting is the reason why I got into wrestling. Sting is like you know, like the grandfather or somebody that like in your life can just never do any wrong. That's for me. That's Sting. So whatever Sting would ask, I would do. But I'm extremely biased there. I totally understand fans just kind of being like, well, Luger wasn't allowed to, be on screen and be a part of Sting's retirement match. So, that's how this business is going to go. That would make total sense. I would not be mad at Tony Khan for it. But I don't know. I feel as though Tony is a person that like he really, really. I know he said recently in the press conference that he was, starting to like lay down the law, say no to people, be a little bit more assertive. But I don't know, man. It's Sting. It's Sting, and honestly, I feel as though it's like. It doesn't benefit WWE. It is getting. I don't think that WWE gets some massive gain for Sting being a part of this. I think it's just really for Sting and for Luger. That's who it's really about. So I hope that Sting is a part of it, and I would personally.
I think here's what I say. Tony Khan is in a position where, unfortunately, I don't think it's fair at all. Like, even the smallest little things, like he'll get criticized no matter what. So whether he allows Sting to go or not, it's a lose-lose in a sense, like depending which fan base you are. Yeah. The AEW fan base will look at it as a lose. Like, dude, like the WWE has fucked you over so many times over and over again. Especially like I'm sure you've seen that the WWE they got their England like London tour set up around Forbidden Door. Yep. Now the week leading up to that they have I think they got an NXT takeover show set up on All In Day in Texas as well. Yep. But here's how I look at it. So I'm gonna look at AEW in a vacuum in 2025. So far they have both TV and pay-per-views as usual. They're doing great. They're knocking it out of the park. They're even at the point where they're getting a lot of good publicity, in my opinion. They're getting like a lot of outside attention, from a lot of news outlets. They're getting a lot of inclusion from like Hollywood. I mean, like they're getting good press. I think they're slowly but surely getting looked at in a better light, in my opinion. So if it were me, just for the sake of the company, as like looked outside of the wrestling industry, if I were Tony Khan, I would allow him to do it. Listen, it's only one night, and you know what? I don't look at the Hall of Fame as a big deal because, listen, the Hall of Fame is not a real place. It's just a one night ceremony. Like, and listen, he did right for Sting every day that he was a main roster talent. I say, put the whole WWE AEW thing aside. However it feels like, dude, just from outside eyes, I think it would be just a good look for Tony Khan. Like, I know it sucks, like, for however many times he's been fucked over by WWE, fair or not, but you know what? It's a lose-lose situation. I'll take the lesser of two evils. Let Sting go, just for that one night for Luger.
No, I'd tell him to go fuck himself, to be honest. It's the way they've been with counter programming at the moment. The way they were not just, it wasn't just Lex Luger that wasn't allowed to appear on camera. DDP said he was there, and he wasn't allowed to appear on camera. Kevin Nash said he didn't bother going because he was told if he's on there they wouldn't be happy. There was a few others as well. I can't remember, but it's so fucking petty, and this whole thing where if any company dares to try and compete with them, they're going to try and stamp you out unless you bow down and take the knee like everyone else. No, fuck them. Because you know that they would treat this as a win. They'd be like, look, we can do whatever the fuck we want. We want Sting, we got him. And they would replay that moment on Raw. They'd replay it on SmackDown as a little clip, oh, here's the Hall of Fame. They'd make sure Sting was in there inducting him and smiling in the background. Well, they would make sure everybody's seen that. And they wouldn't put AEW on his thing either. They just put former WWE superstar Sting or Hall of Famer Sting, because they refused that with Billy Gunn. I would tell them to go fuck themselves. Sorry, Sting, I love you, man, but whatever. It's just tough shit. Blame them for being cunts. I mean, we've seen what happened with the Lucha Brothers recently, and all the contract tampering that's happened everywhere else. Fuck them. I'm sorry. If Tony carries on allowing them to take the piss like this, they're just going to keep doing it. And to be fair, they will keep doing it anyway, regardless of what he does, but whatever. I would be petty as fuck myself, to be honest, as well, especially if I was a billionaire.
No, I think if you're, somebody with like a, logical, sensible brain, you understand that would be totally fair for Tony Khan to do. There's no way that like anyone can see the history of everything that's happened and go, oh, well, no, he has to do this. Me personally, I just think, everything that he has done for Sting and everything that Sting's done for him, it really feels like he has a special relationship with Sting, and we know how close Sting and Luger are, so I would personally do it.
But the thing is, as well, like, I mean, like from my point of view, I fell out of wrestling. I only came back into wrestling when I found AEW and it renewed my interest. Before that, I was bored shitless. That the whole idea of a monopoly just running everything, one company controlling the entire fucking landscape, and not only being content with that, but actually destroying fucking wrestling landscapes in other countries. I don't want to see that happen again. So I want to see AEW prosper. They're doing everything they can to try and kill AEW before they do grow even bigger. Dave Meltzer suggested they've stepped up the reason that we've seen a visual step up in their counter programming and their attacks is because they didn't expect them to get the TV deal they got. It was also suggested that when they were negotiating with WBD, they knew they were going to Netflix. They were just doing it to try and fuck over AEW's chances of getting a deal. All this kind of stuff is so petty, and I don't believe the audiences cross over that much. So, like, it's not like AEW existing harms them at all, apart from the 100%. Obvious fucking fact that wrestlers get paid more and they now have to pay. I mean, do you think Drew McIntyre would have got as much as he did in his new deal, whatever that is, if AEW didn't exist? Right. What the fuck? They'd have just give him the fucking bare minimum, wouldn't they? And say, take it or leave it. What are you going to do? Go to TNA? Now they're cozying up to TNA because they're trying to essentially close off all avenues for AEW. And it's essentially like just so that it's shit. I want wrestlers to get paid as much as they fucking can because they fucking deserve it. So a one-stop shop, a monopoly running everything means that wrestlers are going to get fucked over again. Now they have an opportunity to go and work for somebody else. So yeah, that's what I mean. I know that's a very long-winded way of explaining it, but that's why, because I do not want to see them continually fuck over AEW, and I know we all know this would be used as that. It would be, look, we can get whatever we want. We wanted Sting, we got Sting. Fuck off. And I've seen people say, I think
going. Sorry, not to cut you off. I think going more to your point. The best way to say if you are going no on Tony's point, then you go, well, you didn't care enough to have Luger and DDP be a part of Sting's retirement, so why should we care enough? You didn't care about Luger in that moment, but now you all of a sudden care so much for Luger that you need Sting to be a part of it when you didn't care when it was Sting and Luger themselves in that last match.
Exactly. And what is the Hall of Fame? You actually just said yourself there, Brett, or it might be you, Johnny, that the Hall of Fame's not even a big thing anyway. It's not. It's not even a fucking real Hall of Fame.
It's not a real physical place. Like,
exactly.
it's just a ceremony. It's just a ceremony before Mania. Like, it's not like the baseball or football Hall of Fame here in America. Like, it doesn't exist.
Exactly. So what would be more important to a wrestler? Hall of Fame entrance, induction or whatever, or their actual fucking last match? I'm sure their actual last match. Point, and Luger can't have a last match. Yeah, we know that. It's all very sad. But the bottom line is Sting did, and Luger wasn't allowed to be there in the moment with him. And fuck them. I'm sorry.
I'll say this right here, right now. Like, although I say, I would like Tony Khan for him to allow, I am good either way he decides. I'm good if he allows him, and I'm just as good if he tells them, no, fuck off, like, and whatever, they got to deal with it. I'm good either way.
Yeah, well, look, it's not going to bother me what he does. It's just, if it was me, I'd be like, no, fuck off. At the end of the day,
no, I'm not saying like it's gonna. Yeah, I'm not saying like it would bother me, but I'm saying like I'm okay because I would understand the rationale between either decision. Like, I'm okay. Like, if he says Sting to go, because like I said, like Johnny said, he has a special relationship with Sting, so he doesn't maybe want to do anything to fracture that relationship. But like I said, I'm also good if he tells Sting, like, sorry, I know that's your buddy, but no, they fucked us over time and time and time again. You know what? And everyone, this is one of those moments, like, Johnny, you'll agree with me. Like, I've done videos of this on the past. Like, you can't ask Tony Khan to be a boss, to put his foot down and say no, and then get mad at him for being a boss, putting his foot down and saying no. That's not how it works. You can't have it both ways. You want him to be, guess what? Sometimes bosses are pricks. Sometimes bosses are assholes. But you know what? You don't be mad when he says no, but you've been clamoring him to be a boss over since AEW's inception, basically. Like, he's finally doing what he needs to be done as a boss. Like, he's not going to take this shit anymore, and so be it. If he takes a little flack, you know what? I think at this point Tony doesn't mind. Like, all right, direct the flack, all the flack and nonsense towards me. I'll take it. I'll take the burden of that, but he's not going to fuck around with his business anymore.
I don't think Sting will want to do it anyway. Like, I think he'd like to do it in an ideal world, but I don't think Sting's going to be asked. Sting's been part of being fucked over by these as long as anybody. He's been in the companies that have been affected by this. I don't think he's actually going to be overly concerned. He'll probably, it's just one of them things. They've got Ric Flair's there. Let Ric Flair do. Well, he's not there, is he? He's still shilling that fucking energy drink somewhere, but it doesn't exist. It's a money laundering scam, though. But whatever. Just let him do it.
Whatever happened to Woo Wings?
Probably another fucking scam. Honestly, all these things.
What was Woo Wings? I never heard that one.
Bro, it was another, just like the fucking energy drink thing.
Oh,
he was coming out. It was known chicken wings.
I've never heard of anyone who said that energy drink. It's crazy. It doesn't exist.
No. It does. Over here, in Ohio, Giant Eagle, stocked up. I've never seen anybody buy it, but it's everywhere.
Is that like our version of like Home Bargains and B&M's?
Yeah,
essentially the discount store that gets all the shit that the stores can't get rid of.
Yeah.
You know what? Just for a video, I would go online, see if I could like order a case and like just try it out for a video sake. And
we thought about it. Marissa and I thought about doing it, and then we were like, no, I don't want to give. If any of this money goes to Ric Flair, I don't want to do it.
Well, and you probably don't want to die as well. And I imagine the kind of shit that's in that drink.
Yeah, her dying's not good for your health.
Okay, now woo wings.
We've gone a bit long here.
Have we?
We've gone a bit long here. It's been nearly 2 hours.
Oh, we'll wrap it up then, yeah.
Do you want to? Should we do a couple of questions from the Discord, or?
Yes and no answers. Go on. Just do a few questions. We'll just do yeah or no or one word answers. Whiz through some of them, and then we'll let Johnny plug his fucking shit, and we'll move on. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that all right with you, Johnny?
Yeah. No. I don't care. I'm good for as long as you guys want to go.
Right. So Rampage from the Discord said, "When do we see Jay White winning the world title?" Not till
Probably
next
never.
year.
Yeah, probably never. Unfortunately, I wish he would, but
when they create the World Championship for Collision.
please no.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
listen, the world title right now, I got it booked for like the next couple of years. I mean, next couple of years, like Swerve will win a Dynasty, then he'll drop it to Hangman. Hangman loses to a heel Kenny Omega at Full Gear, and we get a great 8-month heel Omega run in which he drops the belt next year to Ospreay at the main event at Wembley Stadium.
I can see Jay taking the title off of Ospreay though. Or
yeah,
look, if Okada ever
I hope he
gets the
does.
fucking title, then Jay White is clear in to beat Okada. He's like 12-2 against him.
He should have won the fucking title 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. But whatever, did nothing. I still say he should have took Christian's contract. Would have been the best outcome.
Yeah.
Next question, Mike. Let's whiz through some of them.
Yeah. Slug from the Discord. Who's worse, Bischoff, Russo, or the geezer that owns Reading?
Bischoff.
I'm going with Bischoff.
Oh no, man. Russo really fucking annoys me.
He's a prick. I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd probably go Bischoff because he annoys me. He's just like I now hate the word bro so much. Yeah, I'll go Bischoff.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep. It's Bischoff.
I'd say Bischoff takes it after watching that Dark Side of the Ring Bash at the Beach episode, when it's clear that Vince Russo was actually trying to do the right thing and Bischoff was just eating the shit out of Hulk Hogan's arsehole.
Yeah.
Mod Revolve says, who's someone on the roster currently not being featured that you'd like to see brought back to TV?
Oh, fuck knows. I can't think of any.
Yeah.
What was that? Repeat the question again.
Someone who's on the roster who's not been on TV for a while who we'd like to see brought back.
Just like from injury or just like not on the roster? Because if it's like from injury, it's Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie.
I mean, it's like somebody that's not being used. Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna go Bowens.
Yeah, that's a great shout. I'm gonna go Sammy Guevara because I feel like though I'm the only Sammy.
No, same here, bro.
We're all fans of Sammy on air, I think. Yeah,
I love Sammy. Like, I think I commented on one of your videos like a while ago, like when Ospreay first debuted. I was like, listen, like, dude, just if he's doing like random fucking like just challenge matches, like, dude, like Ospreay and Guevara would fucking go hard for a good 15 minutes. I mean, I met Sammy a couple times before. Like, he's a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. Like myself, like he loves my Goku and Vegeta tats. Like, he's just a cool, like humble dude. I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's one of those dudes who gets like unnecessary hate, like or too much hate. In my
agree.
Yeah, I fucking love Sammy. But yeah, for me, I would go Bowens though.
I know we're doing one word answers here, but just what you said there about Sammy Ospreay, that's where I thought we were going after all into 23. To be honest, after the Jericho match, I thought we were going to get Sammy Ospreay next. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Ty Mello's another one. I want to see Sammy and Ty, and they can be separated. That's totally fine. But I want to see Sammy and Ty back.
Serve from the Discord asked a banger question, but I'm actually going to save it for a segment for a future episode. Because it is a banger of a question. So that's us this week, guys. Thanks for coming on, Johnny. Do you want to plug your stuff?
Yeah, of course. John Boy Bebop on TikTok and Triple Threat Pod over on Twitch. Definitely going to be the most chaotic reaction clips that you're going to see over on there. WWE will never post us for that reason. But they will be.
You mean you don't lose your shit when Moose walks through a curtain?
That was the only time we've ever gotten praised for our reactions on fucking online. It was on TikTok. I realized that it was two different like whole fan bases. On TikTok, I posted and it was just like everyone was ready to kill us. Everyone was like, "This is why these guys suck." Blah blah. They don't know who Moose is. They've never watched TNA. Like, no, I have a fucking Jeff Hardy tattoo, and I was like, fucking like 8-year-old kid going to every TNA show. I just didn't. I didn't like Moose. And then people were like, "Oh, you don't like Moose because of like his past. And I'm like, well, yeah, but also I don't like Moose as a wrestler either. And it was like, this was like not a crazy concept to me. Then I posted on Twitter, and then everyone was like, fucking sound. Thank God you don't fucking like him, because everyone else was praising him.
I just remember seeing a clip of some dude going berserk like it was a fucking prime Ric Flair, like in fucking 1993, turning up in WWE. It was fucking Moose turning up in NXT, for God's sake.
Yeah, no, a lot of people were excited for Moose. I was not one of them. You can guarantee, if you're ever worried about watching a TNA Twitch channel, you can guarantee if we're on, we're not going to be reacting highly to Moose. We actually, you can see on the NXT show that Ricky Saints has his debut match. I was seeing if I could see myself on, because we were front row, and you can see myself and my girlfriend walk out as Moose and Alexis King is starting up. I was like, yeah, this is where we go. This is the bathroom break match. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
That's class.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Hope everyone has a great week. Don't forget, Saturday, Thriller Plus, TNT, Level Up, and DOA. See you next week.
And no Moose. Yeah, fuck Moose and fuck Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So how did you find that, Johnny?
That was great, lads.
Oh, it was great having you on, boss.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant to have you on, mate. You have to get you on again at some point when we're talking more like stuff that you guys will know, because I felt like I know it was a bit awkward us talking about the TNT stuff when both yourself and Brett aren't really big, up to speed on it and stuff, but we had to get that out really because the show's on Saturday and the promoters done a lot for us, so. But no, yeah, you have to get you on again, Johnny, at some point. That was good, that, mate.
Absolutely.
Really nice to have a fellow Red on as well. So,
yeah.
In fact, we'll get you on. We'll get you on at the end of the season when we have that Premier League trophy. Yeah.
Hey, shit. Hey, there's the fucking match. What, in a week or so on Wednesday, next Wednesday against Everton. So
that's a bit unfair on Mike, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fucking one.
Just always nice to make fun of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up anytime. Yeah, I'm loving this. So.
Good man, I appreciate that.
Thank you guys
nice
for having me on.
I'm gonna go and take care of a sick dog. So see you later, boys.
All right, guys.
Yeah, see you later, boys.
Later.